Well, Gregory, what a fine morning that is.
What a beautiful morning, isn't it?
What a beautiful day.
Summertime is here.
Summertime is here, and then we've got the big game on Sunday.
Big game on Sunday, and then we're going out tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. I was down in the Lennon Lodge last night, and a big well done to the committee and everybody, and the festival's right out buzzing. I told them, so you're fully locked in now.
We'll have to pay.
What do you mean you have to pay?
Is there any payments? Or
yes, you have to pay to go into stuff.
Oh, no.
Come on.
No.
Come on, my money bags. Take the money with you.
What?
Don't you be coming down to me. I even said to you, says, look, I'll get you a couple of beers in. And he says, you don't want to look at my head all day. I says, I'll get you a few bottles of Budweiser.
Well,
I'm helping you. I'm working
so
with
what's happening?
you. Oh, sure, come on. They got an hour tonight on stage. That's going to be mobbed.
I'm not going to be that fat.
No, you're going to be there tomorrow night. We have the Queen tribute band
brilliant.
on tomorrow. And there's so much going on in all the local pubs. I'm going to take you around them all.
Excellent.
Conway's, Lennon Lodge, Bridge Bar.
Just
the
every
whole
bar
thing.
we walk into. Your money's no good here, lads.
No, Greg, you take plenty with you.
Right,
Don't you be
okay.
coming down tight. Come on now. We say we shorts on you.
Oh, God.
So brace yourself.
Here we go.
Oh,
Can
no.
I stop it?
Stop it. You can do.
Z Fold 7 from Samsung, one of our lightest, thinnest foldables to date, with a 200 megapixel camera for pro-grade detail in your photos. The expansive 8-inch screen promises an epic entertainment experience. Pre-order from Samsung.com by the 24th of July, and you'll get the 512 gigabytes for the price of 256. That's double the storage. Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. Ultra unfolds.
Operates as a price discount. Pre-order the 512 gigabyte variant now and pay the future price of the 256 variant.
They got a better ad spot anyway.
They did. That's prime time there
Exactly.
now.
All
Right,
they'll be
come
all
here.
right.
Have a great show.
Come here,
right?
see you soon.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks very
sure.
much indeedly. Yeah, indeed. Enjoy the good weather. You're
Yeah,
looking
make the
smart.
most
must
of it.
have
You
some
were out in the
business.
boat yesterday evening again?
Long story. Chat to you about that.
All right, good
tomorrow.
luck to you. Bye bye.
Okay, it is 9 o'clock. We've an excellent Friday panel as always to introduce to you very shortly. But first, let's get a news update. And with the headlines, here's Donald Kavanagh.
Thank you, Greg. Good morning. The Health Minister and HSE are being urged to address staffing issues at Killybegs Community Hospital, which a local councillor says have led to 13 short-term beds being closed at the facility. Councillor Jimmy Brogan says he first raised this in March and was told at the time that a number of beds had been closed to facilitate essential infection prevention and control measures. The HSE indicated work was complete and admissions had recommenced. However, he says he's now learned 13 beds remain unoccupied because more staff are required. Councillor Brogan is calling for more urgency on the matter.
Killybegs Hospital covers a large number of people, from Killybegs and the whole way from Glencombe, Kelvin, or and up to Brookles and Duncanelli, and even sometimes further afield, if there's no place in Donegal Town Community Hospital, because there's a number of beds closed there as well for works. The response I got just said that once approval is given to recruit, the older persons management team will work closely with the human resources to recruit the staff. So it looks from that response that they aren't in a hurry to recruit the staff as yet. They haven't made the decision, or else the money isn't there. I don't know what.
The Oireachtas Committee on Education and Youth has been told a strike involving school secretaries and caretakers will get underway on August 28th. Forza, which represents more than 2,300 school secretaries working in primary and secondary schools across the country, as well as 500 school caretakers, told the committee the mandate for indefinite strike action follows the union's efforts to secure access for secretaries to the single public service pension scheme. Head of Education Andy Pike told the committee they remain excluded from the scheme despite being on the Department of Education's centralised payroll since 2023. He added they're trying to get caretakers onto that centralised payroll. Mr Pike believes that when it comes to the strike, they have no other choice.
We have thought this through, and we're at the end of the road with begging, pleading, writing nice letters, petitioning. We've done all of that. There's no other option, and we think our members deserve the opportunity to fight for fair treatment. They've been begging for too long. There's now sufficient number of them in the union that this industrial action will be effective, and yes, there will be disruption. That's unfortunate. The disruption is the fault of those who haven't allowed them into the public service pay system.
The Department of Agriculture has issued a red warning denoting extreme risk of gorse and forest fires until next Monday. People are being warned to take extreme care as temperatures hit up to 29 degrees Celsius today. 14 counties come under a yellow warning for high temperatures from midday today. That will be extended to Donegal and all other counties tomorrow. Alan O'Reilly from Carlow Weather says it'll become even hotter tomorrow and Sunday.
Temperatures have reached 26 degrees locally. We are expecting the temperatures to increase now through today and tomorrow. So it's likely that we will see the warmest of the weather over the weekend.
And weather forecast from Met Éireann, sunny, dry and very warm today. A touch of cloud drifting in at times, but will stay largely dry right across the region. Light winds and plenty of sunshine. Top temperatures today 24 to 27. Lots of evening sunshine and dry weather throughout with light winds. A very mild night in store. Lowest overnight temperatures 14 to 17. And that's Highland Radio News. We're back with news again at 10 o'clock.
The county's #1 talk show, The 9 till Noon Show on Highland Radio. And now, it's time for the talk of the Northwest, The 9 to Noon Show with Greg Hughes on Highland Radio.
Hello and a very good morning. You're very welcome along to the last 9 till Noon show of the week. It's Friday the 11th of July. I do hope you're very well indeed. It's great to have you on board. We've got a fantastic show for you as always. Coming up, I'll introduce the Friday panel to you, but there's that and so much more besides. We want you involved in the conversation throughout the course of the morning, of course. 086 60 25,000. That's the WhatsApp and text number, 086 60 25,000. Or give us a call on 074 91 25,000, 074 91 25,000. Emails to comments at highlandradio.com as well. Right, okay. A very good morning to Kathy Donaghy, journalist and author of Finding My Wild. Good morning, Kathy. How are you keeping?
Hi, Greg. Enjoying the sunshine?
Yes, isn't it lovely? It's lovely when you wake up to it. It feels like the day. It feels like, actually, I woke up and walked out of the house this morning. I felt like I'd missed some of the day. Do you know what I mean? And then I heard people talking on Lee Gucci's show, and they'd already been in for a swim and towelled off, and here's me just getting into the car. But anyway,
So beautiful.
it is beautiful. Harry Walsh, former deputy editor at the Donegal News. Good morning to you, Harry. How are you keeping?
Good, thank you, Greg. It's a beautiful sunny morning here in Ardra too.
Excellent stuff. And Ben Harkins, chair of Ógra Fianna Fáil in Donegal, is with us as well. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Greg. How's things? Thanks for having me.
Where are you and what's the weather like?
I'm in Termon, and it is also very sunny. So delighted it's Friday. Looking forward to what should be a good weekend for Donegal people. I'm hoping.
Yeah, you'd swear we were completely international. You could throw a blanket over the four of us, if the truth be told. So the weather's not going to be much different, is it? Right. Okay. We've got quite a bit to get through and a few things we added overnight. Simon Harris says the refusal of visas for 33 children who were due to come to Ireland and Donegal were refused to protect the kids. GEA Palestine had planned to bring the Palestinian children and young teenagers for a tour later this month. This would have included coming to Donegal and an appearance at a big game in Croke Park, I think the All-Ireland final, in fact. The organisers are of the view the plans were scuppered over Israeli pressure. The government seems to be concerned that the majority of the adults, or all the adults that were with these children, aren't their parents, and this goes against visa regulations. And as I say, this is all about protecting the children. What do you think? I'll start with you, if that's all right, Kathy.
I'm sort of heartbroken about this story, Greg, to be honest. You know, what we're witnessing every day unfolding on our phones, is appalling. I think that there was a real chance for us to do something, I suppose, something positive, something good here for a small number of people to lift them out of this chaos and mess. I feel sometimes that, this government, I've been really proud of this government's speeches on Gaza. But is it just speeches? Because we had a chance to do something real. We had a chance to do something tangible and not just make a speech, that this would have actually impacted people's lives for the rest of their lives. And, I remember there was a team of young footballers who came to this country a few years ago. Actually, one of those young players actually died not that long ago in an airstrike. And they talk about, the reciprocal benefits to the community here in terms of learning about what's going on, the benefit to the parents. That will stay with them for the rest of their lives. So there was a chance to do something so tangible and life-affirming for these people. I don't understand why this can't be sorted out. I don't know. I don't know the background as to how, but they've had time. There's been time that we know these people are coming. I've been reading for the last week about their plans.
Is it possible, though, TV cameras are following them? They would, of course, had a wonderful experience all across the country, not least here in Donegal, and would have been out in front of potentially 80,000 fans, with the cameras following them. Was this blocked? Was this blocked due to Israeli influence, that it would be seen as propaganda, that it would be bad for international relations? Was pressure put on the Irish government to refuse these visas?
Greg, I don't understand how propaganda could come into it. I mean, if it was to do with what we're seeing, surely what we're seeing is actually, we don't need any more evidence of how awful this is.
Yeah, but this puts humanity to it. This puts a face to it. This makes the people real. They come from your phone onto the centre of the pitch in
Yeah.
Croke Park. That would be maybe what they're.
I honestly, I mean, it's mind-boggling that this cannot be sorted out. I mean, there is still, I'm thinking there's still time, and I'm hoping against hope that sense prevails and that somebody within the Department of Justice or the Department of Foreign Affairs can sort this out. I mean, there was a time, that if people were, needed a passport at very short notice for a diplomatic mission, it could be sorted. Good heads coming together could sort this out. I think it's really important that we reach out this hand at this time and do this very small thing that we can as a nation for these young people and their families.
See, what doesn't wash with me, Harry, or not doesn't wash with me, what makes me question is the fact that you would have covered it yourself as well. Chernobyl children coming to this county in massive numbers. And I was just curious yesterday as to how that used to break down. They didn't have the mums and dads with them. It would be one chaperone, one person per 10 kids. That's around about how it worked, okay? So I don't think our child protection laws have changed greatly, and I'm not sure how recently what I've just stated refers to. But it means that the refusal based on the fact that these children don't have their parents with them doesn't wash, because there's precedent there. We know ourselves. The Chernobyl kids come over here and with far fewer chaperones.
Absolutely, Greg. It's a classic case of politicians flip-flopping and hiding behind bureaucracy to suit themselves. I mean, if these people were from country A or country B that suited our intents and purposes to come here, to be here in a flash, but then they're hiding behind bureaucracy and facts and figures. They're saying that the chaperones are coming with them. Don't know enough about them. I mean, you don't have to go back too far to an awful lot of people coming into our county and our country. And therein lays a bigger problem. The general consensus is we don't know enough about a lot of these people coming into the country. So now all of a sudden, this was a good news story, a feel-good story. Local families taking them in different parts of the country, making them feel loved, making them feel, to forget about the horrors of their homeland for a couple of weeks. And Simon Harris and the lads are just now flip-flopping, deciding, hiding behind bureaucracy, saying they can't come in.
But why, though, Harry? Are we seeing firsthand what we hear of? Certain countries' influences on global matters. Were they concerned that the cameras, the only reason I'm coming to that point is because I've over the course of the morning, thinking about things in the car, I've tried to eliminate every other reason. I've got counterpoints for every other reason, okay? Yeah. And it just has me arriving that someone said, look, this is going to look really bad on us. Make it not happen.
Yeah, well, it seems to be. I'm like yourself. I'm trying to figure it out myself, Greg. But because it seems to be from every possible angle, nothing more than a good news story. But obviously, some people don't think it's a good news story, and they carry more clout than you and I do.
Ben, what's your views?
Yeah, it's terrible. You'd imagine the children must be just heartbroken. Even seeing the disappointment in the clubs in Dublin that had fundraised to get them over in that there. I understand when there might be rules in that regarding guardians or whatever coming over, but you'd have thought with this aspect, this group, that the authorities, that the government could have made a more proactive bit of work and saying, in the weeks up to this here point, saying that, this needs to be changed, or maybe you need a different set of guardians, or you need this kind of paperwork. To turn around now a week before it's due to happen, especially given the whole itinerary was planned from the very top of the GAA. Jared Burns was to give this whole group a tour of Croke Park and that this here would happen so close to it. I think as well, though, Greg, I want to say, this, to have these children over with links to Palestine GAA would have been fantastic. I was watching Primetime last night, and they had a young Palestinian family who were over because one of the children lost a lot of his leg, and they're over seeking medical attention. And the fact that there are so many children in Palestine that need medical attention, they were told they were coming to Ireland, and now aren't coming to Ireland, and the families that have been split up because this here. And I think that there is something that would need to take a focus as well. Obviously, it'd be great if we could have the children over through Palestine GAA, but the children that need medical attention in Palestine and they can't get over, I think it is something that we've really dropped the ball on and needs to be looked at as well.
Yeah, Simon Harris says there is an appeals process. As I say, he says this is about child welfare issues, but there is precedent there. He says it's about immigration laws. Also a suggestion that maybe some of them might try and stay, God forbid, Kathy.
Yeah, I think there's ways to sort this out, Greg. It's not beyond the capabilities of government, and it's, I just don't understand why it's so last minute
How
suddenly.
does this work if a youth basketball team wants to come here, or how does it work if?
Well,
So
you
say for
mentioned
instance,
the
say
Chernobyl
for
children.
instance, a 30-person squad of Italian basketball players, the youth team were to come here.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, across like lots of communities, children come to this country on exchange.
Yeah.
You often get messages, if you've got teenagers in your house, could you host a family and be vetted? There's ways around this. I think that if the will is there, that's the bottom line is, if the will is there, this will happen. We can see the government moves, speedily when they really want to. So if this is gonna happen, it's got to happen in the next few days and not let the bureaucracy, as Harry says.
Yeah, but there's no language coming for government that they're going to try and intervene in relation to this. If you read Simon Harris's quotes, he's very stand back. He's like going, we have systems, we have to respect the systems. There is an appeals process. This is the thing that also interests me about it. There is no sort of leadership intervention here. It's actually more as if to say, that's the process. We need to protect the process. Let's see what happens. So, which makes me wonder, is there a geopolitical element to this? I don't want to keep going down that road, Kathy, but all roads lead that way.
Yeah, I do think that Simon Harris has been very vocal in every statement that he's made on Gaza. And for him now to take a standoffish approach on this, when there's a real tangible way, it does, to my mind, sound like flip-flopping and just washing your hands of something when there's the opportunity to do something real and not just words.
Okay. Anything else from you, Harry or Ben?
Yeah, I think I might just come in there, Greg, say I know what you're saying, is this sort of maybe pressure from the Israeli government or something like that there? The Israeli government have made clear what they think of Ireland, what they think of the Irish government, what they think of the Irish people. So I think that I would struggle to see how they would influence it.
No, because I think there's layers, right? So you will have a situation whereby it's probably agreed, right, that Donald Trump will call Benjamin Netanyahu out and say, stop the bombs, this is crazy, what's going on? But at the same time, have lunch with him, twice over 2 days and shake hands and be the best in the world. There is certainly stuff that is the public face of everything. And then there's also the background stuff. Like, we could have gone much further in relation to the Occupied Territories Bill. It was very much watered down. Was it watered down to a point where it became tolerable? I don't know, because we're still obviously we're still trading Israeli bonds, etc. So it's only sort of light touch stance we're taking.
Well, I think, like I say, the Israeli government isn't represented in Ireland anymore because of the leadership that Ireland has taken on it on a lot of things, from recognising Palestine to intervening in the International Court of Justice. I think those are positive steps. I think this would have been a very positive symbolic step, given, I suppose, the amount of children that are here. I would hope that this is just a stumbling block. I would hope that people have seen that there's very clear within the GA community and within the wider Ireland community that people want this to happen, and hope that maybe this can be seen over this weekend, maybe that the government and the authorities can work now proactively to make it happen.
Yep, seems no appetite for that, Ben, but I do understand where you're coming from. Hi, Greg says, listener, is it possible that the denial of visas for the Palestinian children may be more about the fact that the Israelis will prevent those kids from leaving, thus creating a political controversy again between Ireland and Israel? We need action against Israel's Zionist government, not just words. Another, these poor Palestinian children have suffered enough. They shouldn't have to... Okay, I'll come back to that. That's a bit overly tongue-in-cheek, just given what we're talking about. The bonfire that took place, I'm going to come to that in a second as well, actually, sorry. Another, sort out the children at home in Ireland first. That's never going to happen. The situation in Ireland is getting worse. for our children. And I would love to see certainly those who might be angered by the thought of Palestinians coming here actually redouble their efforts to try and improve the plight of the 200,000 children living here in poverty and the 40 or 50,000 per year that are abused. No Israeli pressure, it's American pressure, says a listener. Another, there's no restrictions on foreigners coming into the country. They land on planes all hours of the day and night. How can they be allowed in with no passports? Yet these children were denied entry. The whole thing is a farce, in my opinion. More from our panel and you at home, at work, wherever you are after this break.
The 9 till Noon Show, proudly sponsored by the award-winning Lennon Festival Ramelton. Now in full swing. This weekend, catch headline acts: Honour, Queen Tribute, Tumblin' Paddies and ABBA Sensations. For tickets, search Lennon Festival on Eventbrite.
It's back and bigger than ever. The McElhenney's summer sale is here with up to 50% off designer brands across fashion, accessories, beauty, home and more. Discover unmissable offers online at mcelhenneys.com or visit us in store and save big with the McElhenney's summer sale today.
Thinking of changing your floors? Why not see what Florid Letterkenny has to offer? Florid have a large selection of solid, semi-solid and laminate click vinyl wood flooring together with a fantastic choice of parquet, herringbone flooring, all at incredible value. Don't delay. Call Florid today on 087 161 7008.
Since I switched to Hidden Hearing, I can hear it all. You could save up to €3,000 off invisible hearing aids. Save when you switch to us, upgrade, or save on your very first hearing aids. Pre-phone 1-800-370-000. Switch and save at hiddenhearing.ie. You should go to the hearing experts. T's and C's apply.
At Fleming's, we take great pride in having provided quality steel and roofing to all our customers throughout Ireland since 1860.
Tell them about the doors, John.
OK, Mike. We also provide a full quality range of
doors, industrial doors, garage doors, roller doors, insulated doors.
Thanks for that, Mike.
No dramas, mate.
Fleming's, engineering solutions for 150 years. Call us now on 074 91 48 234.
Hegarty's Ford Letterkenny are getting behind Donegal for this weekend's big game. Test drive any 252 new Ford car or commercial at Hegarty's Ford, Carnamugga, Letterkenny. #1 commercial dealer in the Northwest.
Experience. Experience Donegal v Meath this Sunday at Croke Park in the Football Championship semi-final at 4, with the All-Ireland Junior Football Final at 1:30. The GAA Football All-Ireland Senior Championship. Experience the unforgettable. Sponsored by Allianz, AIB and SuperValue. Advanced ticket sales only at GAA.ie or selected Centre and SuperValue stores. GAA, where we all belong.
Highland Radio Time Checks brought to you by EirGrid, the operator and developer of Ireland's electricity grid. EirGrid, powering up communities, powering up Ireland. The time is
9:22. We're in the company of Ben Harkin, Cathy Donaghy and Harry Walsh. A listener says the bonfire that took place up in Tyrone last night was shocking and shouldn't have been let happen in any civilised society. And the gas thing of all is this hatred of migrants is coming from the descendants group of people who came over from Scotland on boats as planters in the 1600s and were giving land that was forcibly taken off the native population. So what they're talking about is a loyalist bonfire in Tyrone that was controversially topped with an effigy of refugees in a boat. It was set alight last night. The PSNI said earlier yesterday that they were investigating a hate incident in reference to the pyre at Moygashel on the outskirts of Dungannon. An Irish tricolour flag was also placed on the bonfire, which is among about 300 which will be burned across last night and tonight in the region ahead of the Orange Order's annual 12th of July parades. Well, Ben Harkin, is this just part of the island's culture or cultural makeup, or should such displays be banned and strictly enforced as well, I suppose, if you were to ban?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing to say on the Moygashel one is how across the community that there, it was widely condemned. The Church of Ireland Archbishop said it was inhumane and deplorable. Mike Nesbitt in the UP said similar. It's just shocking, and then you see maybe sort of a different bonfire in the Donegal Road in Belfast, which has come under sort of the PSNI wanted to take it down or reduce it, and then they were told they couldn't because it was essentially going to cause too much danger to the community.
The council wanted it down. It was the PSNI that said it would cause too much danger to the community.
Well, I think they wanted to take it down, but then they decided that it was going to be more dangerous to
Oh,
take
right,
it down
okay, yeah, I
than
see what you're on about,
to leave it up. Like it's just crazy because again, it happens obviously at the same time every year. Like we knew a week ago that something was going to appear on the top of the Moycashel bonfire. That this isn't a surprise. There's always going to be something like this here. The fact that, obviously there's some leaders in the community that have no interest in stopping this, but the fact that the PSNI let this year on year get to the stage where you're sort of held hostage every week, they can't do anything because it's got to such a size because, tensions
But
spike
the
so
one up at
much.
the Donegal Road, they've been gathering pallets for that, and up the other big one since February.
Absolutely.
Why would
I
the
seen
council
that there was a
intervene?
woman on BBC last night said the children have been gathering stuff since Christmas to put on the bonfire and that. So, like, how it always this year just gets to this week, where people say it's terrible. How did this happen? And then the PSNI or the authorities say, oh, we can't do anything about it because, tensions are too high. It'll be too dangerous. It shouldn't get to this stage.
No.
I have no problem with people,
Well, I'm going to go
bonfires,
into
whatever, that's part of
Strabane and get
culture.
myself a nice bag of Colombian coal, because why the hell am I burning those nuggets when this kind of crack's allowed to happen in the north? But if I posted something like that, a representation of people, and it's really, they've gone to great lengths. If I posted something like that on Facebook, or actually even X, which is kind of the Wild West, it would be flagged, it would be taken down, and yet here we are allowing it physically before our eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I seen the PSNI have labelled it a hate crime that's happened, but I don't know what sort of punishment that could lead to, or if there will be any. I don't know who would be left to blame for this here effigy that goes up in the middle of the night. I know the people that organise it say that it's art. I don't know how you respond to that. I don't know how you respond to people that will put something up like that there and say that it's art.
So what do we do?
But
we just tolerate it? Do we have
no,
this
we
same
absolutely
conversation
shouldn't.
over the
We
last...
absolutely shouldn't tolerate. But again, like I just don't understand how the PSNI keep failing on this here, because again, it happens at the same time every year. We all know that the week before this is going to happen. You can schedule it that this time next year we'll be saying how did it happen. They just seem to want to stand
But
off.
every action has a reaction. You can imagine if, the PSNI were going routinely into communities.
Absolutely. If they come in, especially this week, when tensions maybe are higher, when this is sort of all built up, that's why it has to be done before. That's why it has to be done in the months before, that they know that it just can't happen, this year, that it can't get to that height, it can't get to that stage. But again, it just keeps happening, and there are definitely failings there in the authorities that allow this to keep happening.
Yeah, it's a tough one, Harry. I don't get it. I don't get it. To be honest with you, but that's probably historical ignorance on my behalf. I don't understand why this is so important, but clearly it is. It is a tough one because things can kick off very quickly if the PSNI intervene in certain ways.
Absolutely. That's Moycashel. I mean, that's not pride. That's poison. There's no real other words for it. I mean, as Ben was saying, that all the politicians have come out and railed against it and what have you. And the DUP, they said bonfires should be a positive cultural celebration, and that the ban, the burning flags, effigies, etc., should not take place. And that's very noble and very honourable and what have you. But the very same members of the DUP and other loyalists, unionists, what other groupings, they're leading this. I mean, at the 12th of July, we all know the background. We all know what's happened. The King William, etc., etc., etc. That's going back 400 odd years, and it's grand if that's if that's their the Protestants, that's their kind of celebration, their annual celebration, like we made of St. Patrick's Day or what have you. You're right, Greg. It's hard for us. We're very close to the border. At the same time, we're a million miles away from it, and it's very hard to actually. There's an awful lot of grey in here.
Well, that's what I do, Harry, because it's so complex, and I really don't fancy doing a ton of research in relation to it. I kind of disengage, which is probably not very good with my job, but I just find it. I just don't understand it, but at the same time, I don't want to stick my head up too far above the parapet and get it cleaned off either. That's just being honest.
No, exactly. And to use the air quotes, it's what the Protestant community do the 12th of July, and 95% of it's grand. But these, particularly the one in Moycashel and a couple of other bonfires, they're trying to one-upmanship each year. They're doing something bigger and better and more brasher than the previous year. And they're putting different effigies on top of it. They had different migrants. Jamie Bryson, I mean, who wouldn't be the most honourable of men, let us say. He's calling it an artistic project, with their cultural connotations.
Well, he says and some people don't want to hear his voice, but I don't think that's helpful either. He says that this is, you have bands at Glastonbury saying, kill, or death to the IDF. That's art. And it's taken for what it is. And then he's sticking this migrant's boat on top of this bonfire. That's just art, and you take it for what it is.
But we've seen, Greg, I suppose, sorry about him, but we've seen the very strong response from the British establishment to that there. We've seen what's happened with that, with Kneecap, what they've said with, whatever the death to IDF. Again, all those things there's been strong responses from the British establishment out there. The fact that there's no response really to what's happened in Moygashill from particularly the senior community leaders and the British establishment would say to me that that's a big problem.
Kathy Donaghy.
Yeah, I have a problem with calling this culture or art, full stop. I mean, everyone would be tolerant of a culture. Bonfires, the DUP statement said that it's part of the culture. This is not culture. This is a pyre of hate, and we have to call it out as such. The second thing that really, really bothers me about this is, the police statement that it was almost better to leave what was on the Donegal Road than to go in. This is a complete failure of law. It's a breakdown of law. It made me think of the film Tombstone, where one of the bandidos says, "Law don't go around here." You mentioned a Western. It's like the Wild West. How can we have a functioning, state that doesn't, respond to the police? The police they feel like their hands are tied and they can't go in. There's something seriously wrong here. And I do believe that that's a failure of politics as well. Yes, the DUP issued a statement about their culture, and they didn't say, but their local MLA and of the UUP and the DUP have said nothing. They have said absolutely nothing on this, which is an absolute. I can't understand how you can represent an area and allow this. And at the same time, your party leaders are issuing a statement saying we don't condone it, and obviously bonfires are part of the culture. It is not culture. It is an absolute pyre of hatred and has to be seen as that. And until I think political leaders in the north get around a table and say, what is wrong here? We cannot allow this to happen year in, year out. It's not the first year. I think there was an effigy of Michelle O'Neill went up on top of these one year as well, and the tricolour burned as well. I mean, this is a failure.
The thing is about it too, Kathy, that bothers me most, to be honest with you, if you want to get a group of old guys standing there swigging a bottle of beer watching this, that's fine. But it's going to be the 15, 16-year-old kids, the 10, 11, 12-year-old kids, the babies in pushchairs watching this, and it just it's just filtering into another generation.
That's my problem with it, Greg. And I read a commentary on this morning where a mother was with her children on the street, and her comment was, "Isn't it fantastic?" Now, a mother with children looking at this, I saw the pictures of that last night, and there was like a weird fascination that you can't look away from this image of what looks like people in a burning boat. It's so disgusting in every sense of the word. And yet I think that there's a failure of leadership in Northern Ireland. The police are not, I don't know what is going on here, but how does it get to the stage where these things, what height are they? Are they like 10, 12 feet high? How did we get to a point where they're that? There has to be some rules and regulations. This second one on the Donegal Road is beside a hospital, and power supplies and,
asbestos.
How does it get to that point where now last minute saloon, it's a problem?
A caller says it's all about the culture, Greg. It's usually the Ivory Coast flag burning on top of the bonfire. God bless them. Have a great day. Simple solution: ban all these types of bonfires, put it into law, full stop. But I don't think the PSNI is equipped for that, because we've seen with the recent spate of violence in the north and what have you, like they had to bring in police from outside Northern Ireland just to deal with two sort of hotspots. So I don't know what kind of resources they have. We wouldn't let a gang of Muslims burn a boat of white folks and call it culture and art. So how could you do so in reverse? I love how folks holding Stop Killing Kids signs get locked up this week in the UK. Meanwhile, they let this crack continue in the north. The one I hate is if you're anti-genocide and ethnic cleansing, you are branded anti-Semitic, continually played out. Israeli money runs the SC in the States. Well, I mean, there's also, I don't know what the views of the general population of Israel are. How are they allowed to light bonfires in the north, yet we can't even burn a paper here in Donegal, or something would be after you? Well, the obvious answer to that is that it's two different jurisdictions. But I get exactly what you're saying. I kind of made the same point. Greg, the reason that the young Palestinians are not allowed to come is people like Alan Shatter would be opposed to them coming, as he's one of the politicians that support Israel since the beginning. Right, these poor Palestinian children have suffered enough, says the listener. They shouldn't have to go and watch a stupid Gaelic game. Take them somewhere fun like the beach. Well, it's our sport and it's fantastic. Okay, we're going to take a break. Back with more from our panel very shortly.
The 9 till noon show with the award-winning Lennon Festival Ramelton. Now until July 14th. This weekend, enjoy Honour, Queen Tribute, Tumblin' Paddies and ABBA Sensations. Plus family fun and entertainment for everyone. For full details, see Lennon Festival Ramelton on Facebook.
It's Bedroom and Mattress Week at Easy Living Furniture. Everything's reduced in store and online with hundreds of sale specials and free delivery on all bedroom and mattress orders over £499. Hurry, Bedroom and Mattress Week ends soon. Only at Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry, Londonderry.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, Easy Living has it all. Easy Living Furniture. Luxury furnishings, affordable luxury.
Attention families, on Saturday 12th of July at 10:45am, Jackson's Hotel presents Say It, Sing It, Clap It, the ultimate Miss Rachel tribute show. Bring your toddler and join 45 minutes of singing, signing, puppetry and interactive fun. Tickets are $22.50 per parent and toddler. Book online now at jacksonshotel.ie.
Thinking of a new kitchen, dreaming of a bathroom upgrade, or finally tackling that garden project? At B&S Credit Union, we are introducing our lowest ever home improvement loan rate to help turn your dreams to reality. B&S Credit Union is now lending up to €100,000. For full details of this great rate and flexible loan product, visit our website at bnscu.ie or freephone 1800 290 390, where our experienced loan team will be delighted to help you. Loans are subject to approval. Terms and conditions apply. B&S Credit Union Limited is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Best wishes to Donegal from O'Donnell's Mace and Go Fuels in Crawley, Kilmacrennan and Dillistrin. Fuel up for the match at O'Donnell's one-stop shop in Delhi.
Connolly's Audi Sligo is bringing the showroom to you. Join us on Canal Road, Letterkenny from July 14th to 19th for the 252 Audi All-Access Test Drive event. Experience the thrill of driving the all-new Audi A5, the impressive Audi Q7 or the refined Audi A6 all in one place. Explore our full range of petrol, diesel, plug-in hybrid and fully electric Audi models. Don't miss this chance to test drive your dream car with Audi Sligo. To book your appointment, call 071 911 5333 or visit connellys.ie.
Who the hell are you? Get ready, Donegal. Highland Radio is throwing a party like no other. It's the Big Highland Summer Bingo Party, hosted with me, Keith Fletcher.
And me, Lee Gooch, Hawaiian shirts, hulas, how the hula are ya? Big laughs and even bigger cash prizes. With €1,000 up for grabs, expect big party tunes, madness and just a little bit of mayhem.
So, Saturday the 2nd of August at Jackson's Hotel, Ballabafay.
You better get your tickets quick on eventbrite.com.
Hey, what? Is it over 18s?
You better mention it's over 18.
Okay. And it's over 18s.
Right, you're very welcome back to the Friday panel here on the 9 till noon show. We have a great panel as always. Ben Harkin, Chair of O'Grafina Full in Donegal, Harry Walsh, former Deputy Editor at the Donegal News, and Cathy Donaghy, journalist and author of Finding My Wild. Just a couple of quickies here. Donegal County Council's being urged to carry out a safety audit of Bad Eddy. The ship washed up on Mahara Clogher Beach, Gweedore, in the 1970s. The condition of that structure now has deteriorated in the intervening years, and it's said to be currently in a dangerous state with rusted nails exposed. Should it be fenced off? Should it be removed? Why don't we see the value in these things a little earlier on, maybe some years ago, and see what we could have done with it then? Cathy, what say you?
That's a good point, actually, isn't it, Greg? It's such an iconic image of that part of Donegal. I mean, I think it would be very unusual to see that beach now with Bad Eddie. It's so beautiful, and everybody would admire it. Surely there is a way with all of the technology, and I would say lots of people would volunteer to help, and experts would go in. Surely we don't need to fence it off. I mean, that would just ruin what is, a very, very beautiful scene. There must be ways that we can make it safe without putting a fence around it.
Could we not move it ashore somewhere and replace it with like an exact replica, like made of a different material, so that it retains that, and maybe even sort of becomes something in and of itself, and so we still have that iconic imagery, but it's locked in for future generations. I'm not sure what the implications.
Do you not think, Greg, that there's an element of, if we do that you take away from the sort of the nature of what washed up there, the
100%,
natural
yeah.
sense of.
But we should have. I talked about this 15 years ago. I'm sure at that point we could have put in stainless steel nails or something. I don't know what it is. We could have done something. We're just constantly talking about what we're going to do as it continues to deteriorate, and not seem to be doing anything to protect it. I'm not sure. Listen, we could go to the moon, right? We can protect this structure, surely.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a theme in some of the discussions that we've been having this morning, which is kind of interesting, that why is it always last minute that we realize, oh, this is going to absolutely, be obliterated if we don't do something, and it's last minute saloon with everything. Can we not sort of realize this is going to happen?
Because
it's going to move on.
There's been a campaign about the bridge in the old town in Letterkenny for years. It's historic nature. It's deteriorating. What happens is you get a few very vocal people that can see it. They bang the drum. They say, if we don't do something now, it's going to be too late. Blah, blah. They're ignored, and next thing it falls into the river or falls into disrepute, and then we say, well, why didn't we do something earlier? Because we often don't, Kathy, listen to the people who are in real time making these exact arguments.
Yeah, it's a good point, especially with historic structures, that that there is real value in these, and it's how we also value the old in our society, the things that are there for generations. And it's up to, I suppose, maybe younger people to take the baton now and realize the value of them. And we don't sometimes realize the value of anything until it's gone, unfortunately.
Yeah, Harry Walsh, I think we're going to have to do something, because, it is only a matter of time before kids are clambering on it. Someone gets an old rusty nail 3 inches into their thigh or something. God forbid. But I know for a fact when I was a child, and to be honest with you, probably still to some extent now, I would want to run over there and clamber and explore and God knows even climb. So we can't sort of keep ignoring it. We're going to have to do one thing or other, Harry.
Exactly. And as Kathy rightly says, unfortunately, we just procrastinate and go on. And meanwhile, it's forever getting worse. I mean, you can't put a fence around it. I mean, I'm not an engineer, but the fact is on sand-based, I'm sure the said fence would soon sink into the ether as well, So I'm sure there's enough brains out there to do something, but do it quick rather than wait. You and I having this conversation in 5 years' time. As you said, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, Greg, we've been talking about it, and meanwhile, it's left to somebody else or some other task force. And therein lies the problem, these task forces and what have you. It's actually getting things done seems to be the problem.
And if the truth be told, the fence might be there to mitigate responsibility rather than actually making it any safer, if the truth be told, because you go straight over the fence and you have a look, but God forbid if anything happened, you go, well, we put a fence up.
Absolutely. And that probably gives you another 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
leave the fence there.
But
and
it
then
doesn't
worry
remove
about
the danger per se, and we do have to recognise that as well.
Yeah.
I think that was a good idea, Greg, about maybe having some kind of, maybe a replica or something with the same materials. I think it's important that the local community will be brought in. I think that it's clear that maybe whatever authorities.
It's young people. Kathy's passed the baton on to you. Not that Kathy's old, but
I have a lot on my plate now without trying to save.
There's always time. There's always room on the plate for Bad Eddie.
Yeah, I think it is important that. Listen, I know it's obviously a big tourist thing, but it'd be important that the local community and the local people would have a say in what they think should happen to it. It's on their doorstep.
Well, can you imagine if you were here 10 years ago and you were from Ontario and you come here and you got a picture with Bad Eddie and it was your special anniversary 15 years later and he says, we're going back to Donegal, and you went to the beach and it wasn't there. You would go, whoa, did they not see the value in this? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's how significant it is. You search Bad Eddie go into Google Photos, and there are thousands upon thousands of
it's an iconic
images,
image of Donegal, so it is.
And that's exactly what it is. You know what? You've put your nail in the head there. It's actually, if you put together 100 pictures that represent our county, it's one of them, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And here we are procrastinating, as Harry said. Right, so Ben's not taking it on. Kathy, what else do we do?
Well, I think Ben makes a good point about the local community, getting behind this. And I think they would. And I think it's so beloved that, if you tried to have a GoFundMe campaign for Bad Eddie, I think, you would have funds flown in from all over the world from those photographs around. But I'm thinking about that image of Donegal, what is sort of, yes, our beaches, our blue flag beaches. I would say the church at Dunlewy and the Poison Glen, that iconic image. I think Bad Eddie's one of them.
Yeah,
it absolutely is. It encapsulates the wildness of our county. There's sort of that rural mystique.
Our relationship with the water.
Or absolutely us as a seafaring people. Also, that tradition of emigration and it encapsulates so much of who we are as a people.
The state of our health service.
Sorry?
The state of our health service, it encapsulates the. No, I'm only joking. Sorry.
That's another.
I'm being facetious.
That's another. Yeah,
no, but I really think, and I think Ben and both you, Kathy, both picked up on the same point about local community. But this is local to all of us. I think we all have a say in this as well. And I think, we commission, great structures left, right, and centre, and fantastic. We've got brilliant artists here. There must be something we can do to retain what it is, even though what it is actually starting to deteriorate or has gone beyond any.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, technology that allows people to go in and excavate, the most, intricate structures all over the world. We've seen, look at what happened when the cathedral at Notre Dame burned down. Look at the way experts are able to restore. There are experts with knowledge that can bring their skills to restore and save something like this, which just takes the will and probably good people leading a campaign on this.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But I do think the local authority has a big key role in sort of being the head of that and bringing people together, because over generations people have tried, Kathy, to do exactly what you're talking about, but it's like running in treacle, and I think the local authority needs to recognise the importance of it, with even as part of tourism funds or what have you. Harry, I just think that, if we think of other iconic things in other parts of the country, we'd be looking on even more aghast, actually. When it's close to home, you kind of sort of accept it a little bit. But if there's, I can't think of an example at the moment, but if there was something down the country that was of such, significance, you'd be going, are they crazy? Why aren't they doing something about that? And yet here we are.
Yeah, I mean, as Ben says, you said earlier about hitting the rusty nail on the head, excuse the expression, but it's one of those ones that, it does beg relief. We're sitting here now, and as I said to you earlier on, hopefully we're not sitting here in 5 years' time talking about it. Somebody has to grab that nettle and run with it, because it's 5 years' time, we don't know. Will it still be there? Will anything still be there? But
this conversation will only progress because of vandalism, a very serious injury, or a major storm. That's my feeling.
Yes, it's sad but true.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen, guys, going to take a break. Back with more from the panel after these.
The 9 till noon show with the award-winning Lennon Festival Ramelton. Join us Monday, July 14th for the festival's grand finale, featuring ABBA Sensations Live, followed by a spectacular fireworks display. For the latest festival updates, follow Lennon Festival Ramelton on Facebook.
Meet Frank. He made big savings on his car insurance when he made the switch to Outsurance.
Hi, I'm Frank. It's true. I saved €182 when I made the switch. And with the Out bonus, I know I'll get 10% of my premiums back in cash after 3 years claims free.
Great stuff. For a competitive car insurance quote like Frank's, call 1-800-600-400 or visit outsurance.ie. Real people, unreal savings. Outsurance. You always get something out. Based on a like-for-like policy comparison, the customer received a gratuity for their participation. Outbound is calculated less taxes and levies. Acceptance criteria, terms and conditions apply. Car and home insurance is underwritten by Outsurance Stack. Outsurance Stack trading as Outsurance is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
This summer, the Big Top is calling. Summer Sessions Letterkenny presents The Human League, live on August the 21st for one unmissable night. Plus special guests including Nick Kershaw and The Undertones. And it's your last chance to grab the final tickets at summer-sessions.ie. Also rocking the Summer Session stage, the Saw Doctors with special guests. That's The Human League, August the 21st in Letterkenny, under the Big Top. Follow Summer Sessions Letterkenny on social media for all the latest updates.
TFI Local Link operates evening and weekend services throughout rural Ireland to help you stay connected 7 days a week. We know life doesn't just happen 9 to 5, so if you're commuting, shopping, visiting family, or going out in the evenings or on the weekends, let TFI Local Link take you there. Visit transportforireland.ie.
Get ready to dance the weekend away at the Highland Radio Country Music Weekend in the Clanry Hotel, Letterkenny from October 31st to November 2nd. 2 nights, 1 dance floor and some of Ireland's biggest country stars. Michael English, Patrick Feeney, Stacey Breen, Jordan McPollan, and I'll be there too, David James, and lots more to be announced. You can enjoy 2 nights bed and breakfast plus tickets to both dances. That's the Highland Radio Country Music Weekend. Spaces are limited, so book now online at highlandradio.com or clanryhotel.com.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhenney's. Find amazing savings across our departments with up to 50% off your favourite brands in our summer sale. Discover more in-store or shop online at mcelhenneys.com today.
Sunny, dry and very warm today. While a touch of cloud will drift in at times, it will stay largely dry, light winds and plenty of sunshine. Temperatures 27 degrees. Harry, we've a yellow weather warning for temperatures 27 during the day, 15 at night. Have we completely lost the run of ourselves, or do you think these weather warnings are justified? I mean, half the country is over in Spain baking at 42 degrees and we're up to high dough with 27. Is it the boy that cried wolf?
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, before I came on, I was didn't sleep that well last night. I was up watching I seen the full moon. It was absolutely glorious in the night sky, and stuff that we take for granted. You know, we get a couple of good days, and we literally do lose the run of ourselves. The weekends can be nice, and put on a bit of sunblock, go out, swim in the sea, enjoy it for what it is, because we're already being told that next Monday and Tuesday there'll be plenty of rain again, and the farmers need not worry too much, you know. So we do. I mean, I wouldn't like to be in Spain or Portugal or wherever at 40 plus degrees. I lived in the States for a couple of years, and the humidity would nearly kill you. And I lived in Australia as well, where the heat would nearly kill you. And I love both places. And I was of an age in the stage where I was indestructible, so it didn't really bother me now. But you're right. It's one of those ones that it's headlines, isn't it? You know, yellow warning, red warning, green warning, whatever kind of a warning.
I just think it's airing like the attention, and I don't mean that badly at all, but because Ben, you know, like obviously my default position here is to go, yes, there are vulnerable people out there, but these are people that live through. If they're older people, they've lived through much hotter than this, and I just don't understand yellow weather warnings for temperatures in the high.
Yellow weather warnings have lost, I think, any sense of meaning. To be honest, you know, like as in it's so. I think we've been caught out so many times. You think there's a storm coming, you think a big heat wave. Listen, I think we can handle. You know, I was looking at there, 30 degrees, 29 degrees for an hour or two tomorrow. I think we should be well able to handle it. I think it's a good idea when sort of we're forecasting for warm weather and that there, that you have, you know, I seen last night sort of about warnings about water safety, things like when people are going out swimming and stuff like that there. I think that's a good thing, you know, but I think, you know, we can handle 28, 29 degrees for an hour or two tomorrow and get through it as a country.
Yeah, I as I say, Kathy, I don't know what your views diverge from the lads at all there, but what do you think?
No, I would agree with what you're all saying there, Greg. I suppose the one thing about warnings, and it's maybe something we take for granted in this country because we don't see that much of it, right? And that saying, you know, make hay while the sun shines. I mean, you know, when you live in a place like Donegal and you get a day like today, if you can take the time to go and do something, then now's the time to do it, because the rain could be lashing again on Monday, as Harry says. One thing that sort of slightly bothers me, and maybe it's a good thing to be aware of, is, you know, skin cancer is probably the the most common cancer in this country.
11,000 people a year diagnosed with
Yes,
skin cancer.
exactly, Greg. And, oftentimes we go out and say, well, we're in Ireland, how bad can it be? And you know what, the amount of times you'll come in, you say, oh God, I should have had my sun cream on. Maybe it's just that we, nudge to get the sun cream on a day like today. I do think though, that in time, what we're going to see is our climate. We know that June was the hottest on record. It was the hottest June. And I feel like, as climate change sort of moves in this general upwards direction in terms of heat, what we might find is that Ireland becomes this temperate tourist destination instead of people going to Spain, because we also know that experts are suggesting that in 50 years' time, people won't be able to live in Madrid if things keep going.
I know people that are choosing different parts of Europe because the southern part of Europe is just too warm for them. Not to mention, too, obviously, that there is predictions also that we'd see an influx of climate refugees as well, because of our central location in Europe. We're neither too cold nor we're neither too hot. But I think you and Ben hitting something there. What does yellow mean? But if you use it as an opportunity, or use the weather forecast as an opportunity to briefly but clearly articulate looking after your skin and to be careful in the water, that's far more useful than just naming a colour. What does the colour even indicate?
That's a true point.
I actually genuinely don't know what the advice is in the yellow warning. I mean, I think I can figure it out, but I don't know what Materan are trying to indicate.
I'm not sure either. I think maybe that we could do with perhaps that being explained to us a little bit better. I think, if you go to the beach today, if you go to a blue flag beach, if you go to Kildare, what you'll notice on the lifeguards board is you'll see what conditions are like, you'll see the UV index, you'll see all that. I find that really helpful because I kind of, I know, and it's spelled out for me. I think you're right. We could probably do with understanding a bit better. If it's not red warning, do we pay attention? That's
and also too, I did note some unions, and I can't remember which one, Harry. I don't know what you think about this. They were sort of saying that on a yellow warning, I'm not sure, it was mostly for bad weather, but it might be for good weather too. On a yellow warning, you should have the choice to work from home, and on a red warning, you shouldn't have to go to work at all. Maybe that's what it's all about, Harry.
Absolutely. I second that, Greg.
All right, come here, Harry Walsh. Thanks so much for all of your time this morning. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too, Greg.
Take care. Bye-bye. Kathy, fantastic to speak to you and see you again. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, Greg.
Bye-bye. Ben Harkin, look after yourself. Thanks so much, buddy.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, have a good weekend, you. All right, thanks so much for that. Lots we didn't get to, but thank you to Ben Harkin, Kathy Donaghy, Harry Walsh there. A caller says, and I'll throw this out to the listeners, has the panel or listeners any view, which is very important for our county, with the referee on Sunday? Paul Fallon, he gave us nothing in a game against Mayo, so hopefully it doesn't come down to decisions. Well, I suppose I understand where you're coming from. I know. I'd imagine any manager is saying, look, let's take the decision out of the referee's hands, to use a boxing analogy. A caller says, burning Roman Catholic effigies, Sinn Féin and SDLP posters, tricolours, burn all tags, etc. is a hate crime that was normalised for some reason. Unionist leaders in the Orange Order has failed badly, in my opinion. Another is Pat the Cope running for president. Headline on April 1st. Caption, unless he gets LUH sorted, and Fianna Fáil have failed miserably so far, in my opinion, says a listener. Well, I mean, there is some speculation, whether it's kite flying or not, that his name has been... the grassroots of Fianna Fáil are keen to put him forward. Why not, I suppose? Mairead McGuinness is certainly in there. Are Fianna Fáil going to get behind Mairead McGuinness, perhaps? Sinn Féin have yet to sort of say who they're pitching for. Mary Lou McDonald not ruling herself out of the equation yet. And really, the runners and riders only kind of emerging now. We'll have plenty of time to chat about that, of course. Right, we have a break to take, and then we'll have the news and obituary notices, and then we'll be back with more on this show afterwards.
The 9 till Noon Show, proudly sponsored by the award-winning Lennon Festival Ramelton, now in full swing. This weekend, catch headline acts: Honour, Queen Tribute, Tumbling Paddies and ABBA Sensations. For tickets, search Lennon Festival on Eventbrite.
Donegal return to the semi-final stage of the All-Ireland Series this Sunday, with the Royal County of Meath providing the opposition at Croke Park. Jim McGuinness is looking to guide Donegal back to the All-Ireland final for the first time in 11 years. Join the Highland team for full match coverage of Donegal versus Meath this Sunday, throw-in 4 p.m.
Donegal action in this year's championship is with Highland Motors Mountaintop Letterkenny. Thinking of a new 252? Check out Highland's great offers on all their award-winning ranges. See highlandmotors.ie.
Foster carers are urgently needed in Donegal. If you have space in your heart and home, you could change a child's life. Contact Orchard Fostering today on 074 9706 109 or visit orchardfostering.ie, because every child deserves a safe and loving home.
Carrigart's biggest weekend of the summer is here. Carrigart Fest kicks off this Friday with One for the Road. Bingo Loco goes country on Saturday, and the Whistling Donkeys are live Sunday. All in the marquee. Tickets going fast on Eventbrite or at reception. Stay the night and enjoy the new restaurant. Book now at carrigarthotel.com.
Transform your living room with a luxurious, bespoke feature wall from Spratt Fireplaces, Newmills, Letterkenny. Our complete installations include built-in storage, electric fires, floating shelves, and stunning finishes in stone, porcelain, or marble. Each feature wall is designed and built in-house by our expert carpentry and stone masonry teams. No fuss, just flawless feature walls. Call 074 91 24144 or visit spratfireplaces.ie. Spratt Fireplaces, experts in heating, design, and detail.
Leisureland Redcastle, open every day all summer long. Perfect for family day trips. Offers excellent value for birthday party packages. For a memorable family experience this summer, visit Leisureland Redcastle. See leisurelandredcastle.ie for more details.
McGowan Hearing, your audiologist experts now in Letterkenny, Buncrana and Carndonna. Book your free hearing aid consultation in our clinic or your home across the northwest and beyond with Dara McGowan on 07191 00208.
Live, on air, online and on the Highland Radio app. This is Highland Radio News.
Good morning, it's Donna Marie Doherty with the news at 10 o'clock. The Health Minister and the HSE are being urged to address staffing issues at Kellybeggs Community Hospital, which a local councillor says has led to 13 short-term beds being closed at the facility. Councillor Jimmy Brogan says he first raised this in March and was told at the time that a number of beds had been closed to facilitate essential infection prevention and control measures. The HSE indicated work was complete and admissions had recommenced. However, he says he's now learned that 13 beds remain unoccupied because of more staff being required. Councillor Brogan is calling for more urgency on the matter.
Kellybeggs Hospital covers a large number of people, from Kellybeggs and all the way from Glencombe, Kelvin, or and up to Brooklands and Knocknelly, and even sometimes farther afield, if there's no place in Donegal Town Community Hospital, because there's a number of beds closed there as well for works. The response I got just said that once approval is given to recruit, the older persons management team will work closely with the human resources to recruit the staff. So it looks from that response that they aren't in a hurry to recruit the staff, but yet they haven't made the decision, or else the money isn't there. I don't know what.
The chair of Ogra Fianna Fáil in Donegal says more should have been done to resolve the situation regarding a group of children from Gaza who will not be allowed to come to Ireland because of visa issues. Speaking on today's 9 till noon show, Ben Harkin also expressed concern that children in need of medical attention and surgery are also being delayed coming into Ireland, and that's a situation that needs to be urgently addressed.
To have these children over with links to Palestine GA would have been fantastic. Like, I was watching Primetime last night, and they had a young Palestinian family who were over because one of the children lost a lot of his leg, and they're over seeking medical attention. And the fact that there are so many children in Palestine that need medical attention, they were told they were coming to Ireland and now aren't coming to Ireland. The children that need medical attention in Palestine and they can't get over, I think, is something that we've really dropped the ball on and needs to be looked at as well.
A bonfiring featuring effigies of migrants on a boat was lit in Moygashel, County Tyrone last night, with the PSNI confirming they're investigating it as a hate incident. The pyre in Moygashel is around one of 300 to be lit ahead of the Loyalist 12th of July celebrations tomorrow. Another bonfire in South Belfast is raising concerns over its close proximity to an electrical substation which powers hospitals. Sinn Féin Senator Conor Murphy says the PSNI's decision to not dismantle the structure was wrong.
To wait until the bonfire was in a position where it could be lit, I think, is a dereliction of duty from both themselves and from the City Council. The PSNI have put forward the reasons and cited human rights obligations. With the questions asked about those who might suffer from the contaminants being sprayed into the air, those who are in hospitals whose services might be jeopardised if a power supply is cut, we shouldn't be having these types of conversations around this time of the year. If there are bonfires to be created, they should be done so in an orderly and controlled manner.
Police in the north say they hope new figures will give victims of non-fatal strangulations the confidence to report it. Since it became a standalone offence in Northern Ireland 2 years ago, almost 2,000 arrests have been made. Research shows victims of abusive relationships are 8 times more likely to be murdered by their partner if they've previously been strangled by them. Detective Superintendent Lindsay Fisher says it's a serious matter.
We're taking this really seriously, as it should be, because the offence itself carries a significant sentence. In reality, as I've said, it really marks somebody saying, I control your life. I'm holding it very much in my hands.
The Department of Agriculture has issued a red warning denying extreme risk of gorse and forest fires until next Monday. People are being warned to take extreme care as temperatures reach up to 29 degrees today. 14 counties come under yellow warning for high temperatures from midday, and that will be extended to Donegal and all other counties tomorrow. Alan O'Reilly from Carlow Weather says it will become even hotter on Saturday and Sunday.
Temperatures have reached 26 degrees locally. We are expecting the temperatures to increase now through today and tomorrow. So it's likely that we will see the warmest of the weather over the weekend.
EU leaders are on tenterhooks to see if Donald Trump will hike US import tariffs to 15 or 20%. Trade ministers meet next Monday and may extend a pause on retaliatory tariffs if a deal struck this weekend. An agreement's already been made since Wednesday, but President Trump has yet to sign off on it. The EU already braced for a 10% tariffs, but further hikes could trigger countermeasures. Having a look now to weather, sunny, dry and very warm today. There'll be a touch of cloud, but it will stay largely dry with light winds and plenty of sunshine. Highest temperatures will be in the range of 24 to 27 degrees. That's all for now from the news desk. Back with more at 11 o'clock.
The obituary notices for this Friday morning, the 11th of July. The death has taken place of Brendan McHugh, late of Rathfarnham, Dublin and Lochdoon, Portnew, Donegal. His remains will repose at his home residence in Rathfarnham tomorrow evening from 5 o'clock. Reposing at Chauvelin's Funeral Home, Sandfield Ardra, Donegal on Sunday evening from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Funeral from there on Monday morning, travelling via Lochdoon to St Connell's Church, Kilclooney for 11 o'clock Requiem Mass with burial afterwards in the adjoining cemetery. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu if desired to Our Lady's Hospice. The death has taken place of Helen McIntyre, Crora House, Drumawere, Greencastle. Helen's remains will repose at Eamon McLaughlin's Funeral Home, Station Road, Carndonagh, this afternoon from 12:30 until 2 o'clock, followed by removal to the family home in Greencastle. Funeral from there on Sunday afternoon at 1:30 for 2 o'clock funeral service in Moville Presbyterian Church, followed by burial in Greencastle Church of Ireland graveyard. Family time, please, from 10 p.m. to 11 a.m. and on the morning of the funeral. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu if desired to Cancer Care West, care of any family member or Eamon McLaughlin, funeral director. The death has taken place of Neil Crumlish, Mossy Glen, Lekemi, reposing at his sister Nuala's home at Three Trees, Quigley's Point. Funeral from there tomorrow morning at 10:15 for 11 o'clock funeral mass in St Columba's Church, Ballynacray, followed by interment in the adjoining cemetery. The funeral mass can be viewed live on Eamon McLaughlin, funeral director's Facebook page. Family time, please, from 10 o'clock tonight. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu if desired to Letterkenny University Hospital, care of any family member or Eamon McLaughlin, funeral director. The death has occurred of Cahill Charles Patton, Ballyboe Convoy, reposing at his late residence today from 12 noon with rosary at 9, leaving there tomorrow morning at 10:30, going to St Mary's Church Convoy for 11 o'clock Requiem Mass, followed by burial in St Mary's Old Cemetery Convoy. Mass can be viewed online via Kelly's Funeral Director's Facebook page. Family flowers only please. Donations in lieu if desired to the Oncology Day Unit, care of any family member or Kelly's funeral directors. The death has occurred of John Callaghan, Moness Burt. John's remains are reposing at his home. Removal tomorrow morning at 10:15 to St Angus's Church, Burt, for Requiem Mass at 11 o'clock, followed by interment in Burt Cemetery. The Requiem Mass can be viewed on churchservices.tv. Family time, please, from 11 o'clock tonight. Family flowers only, please. And the death has occurred of Mary Rowe, née McKinney, Drumhaggart, Burnfoot. Removal from her home this morning at 10:15, going to St Patrick's Church, Ishkaheen, for 11 o'clock Requiem Mass, followed by interment in the adjoining graveyard. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu if desired to the Donegal Hospice, care of any family member or Murphy Funeral Directors. For family information and more details regarding wakes and funerals, please go to highlandradio.com.
Uniform bundles aren't just great value. With a 2-pack of polo shirts, skirt or trousers, plus a cardigan or sweatshirt, all for less than €5. They also come with a 12-month satisfaction guarantee. So they're ready for all the thrills and, well, spills of a whole school year. Bring it on. In store now, while stocks last.
Cutting through the spin. The 9 till noon show on Highland Radio.
You're very welcome back to the programme. Thank you so much for all of your texts and comments so far this morning. Obviously, it's on pretty emotive, controversial topics. Cost of living crisis, low temperature warnings in the winter as people can't afford fuel. Yeah, brings it home, doesn't it? Best of luck to Jim and the lads on Sunday from all at Finn Harps. From all at Finn Park. Also, good luck to the youngest Finn Harps team in the club's history, who are looking to go 6 games unbeaten at UCD this evening. It's funny, Kevin McHugh's his touch is starting to take hold there now. That is the seniors that are playing UCD, isn't it? Burning. I read that one, and I read that one also. Bad Eddie was dumped on the beach. It's rubbish and should be taken away. People having an emotional connection is bizarre. Well, hey, forget emotions. What about I might have a commercial tourism connection, because it is value, it's money, it's a tourism attraction. It is everywhere. Search Bad Eddie. Go to Google Images and you will see thousands of pictures of it. But Nicholas is of the same view. Bad Eddie should go. Kids will get hurt climbing on it. Hard to unite that kind of hatred. Yeah, indeed. And maybe I just my concern is that it's just a new generation. It's the next generation that watch on and think, oh, this is great crack. This is what you do. This is how you get on with your neighbours. And there are conversely things on the other side as well, by the way, if I could put it to you like that. I'm just not, it just so happens that the focus would be on what's happening in the north at this time of the year, but we talk about other things at other times of the year as well. If I held a bonfire and I burnt a British flag and an effigy of the British suggestion, I'd be done for it. I'll tell you, light a fire in Northern Ireland and stick an Israeli flag on the top of it and see how long you last. You'd be in prison in no time whatsoever, I would say. A caller says, my solution to the burning of pallets and tyres would be impose a carbon tax on the Orange Order or whoever organises or authorises the building. No government grant should be issued until the tax is paid. The tax should be attached to any property of the current head of the particular lodge in which the bonfires are lit. I'm not sure it's the Orange Order responsible for building them, but I get where you're coming from. I have 3 adult tickets for Upper Hogan if anyone would like to swap with me for the lower tier. I had a procedure done this week and cannot walk up the steps. I'd be extremely grateful haven't missed a match. Top Donegal. So that's someone with the adult tickets for upper looking to swap them for lower. It could be difficult because the lower tickets were in huge demand and a lot of people were turning their nose up at the upper tickets until such time as they got the lower ones. But you never know. Someone might prefer the higher views. So if you have lower tickets and you want to swap them with this listener who has Upper Hogan stand tickets, let us know. Right. We have brilliant coverage of that game In fact, we've had brilliant coverage. All week. We had Brendan Devaney. He was out and about. Sister Sarah's. Oisin Kelly was out last night in Carndonagh. It was great to be up in Carndonagh, as it always is. We always get a fantastic welcome there. It was a great show. The build-up continues, of course, throughout the weekend. And Oisin and the crew will be down bringing you live commentary of the game on Sunday against Meath. And we're really hoping that we're into our fourth All-Ireland. Parking in Dunfanaghy is terrible. How are the Gardaí Council allowing tables, chairs and flower spaces to take up parking? You can't park in the square at all. We're missing about 15 parking spaces. I want to do my recycling at the bottle bank and 2 cars were parked in front of it. I've tried 3 times now to go and I can't. My daughter has to go to Creasler to do it for me. I know a lot of locals are doing the Dunn Stores delivery service as it's far handier than trying to get to a shop. I have to go to Creasler if I want to recycle and go to the pharmacy as there's no parking spaces. It's bad that I have to leave my own town to do anything. If I had tables and chairs out on my private road obstructing traffic, the council wouldn't be long telling me to move. How's this allowed? Okay, so is that businesses making use of that short shared space that's taking up parking spaces? I'm not quite sure. Let me know if that's something you have an opinion on. I recently had a hip replacement operation, says a listener, including myself. There was 6 of us in the ward. One of them had dementia. One couldn't get a bed in a community hospital. One of them was waiting to be transferred to a community care hospital, which kept being cancelled. So in that orthopaedic ward of 6 patients, 3 were in the wrong room. It's no wonder operations keep getting cancelled. The beds are used as waiting beds. There you go. Well, we do talk about pressures on the hospital, and there is absolutely no doubt more step-down care, be it home care packages, be it family available to care for people, or indeed in a hospital environment that's not an acute hospital. That's a big, big problem. Right, okay, what do you fancy doing at the start of August? Saturday the 2nd of August. Well, we've a great night out lined up for you. We've got Lee Gooch, we've got Keith Fletcher. They're co-presenting a big party bingo night. And we have Marty Friel. So effectively, they're 3 hunks of Highland. I mean, if you're not even interested in bingo, 3 hunks. Never out of the gym, the 3 of them. Marty Muscles Friel. We've got Lee the Abs Gooch. And the Marathon Man, Keith Fletcher. Talk about eye candy. If that's not enough, I don't know what is. But anyway, it's in Jackson's Hotel Ballybofey on Saturday the 2nd of August, and we're turning up the heat with the big Highland Summer Bingo Party. So you will hear party tunes, there'll be tropical vibes, there'll be a wild night of bingo, silly fun games, big cash prizes, all in the heart of beautiful Ballybofey, and a top prize of €1,000 up for grabs. Now, you can dress to impress too. Get all done out in your Hawaiian shirts, your hula skirts, or your beachwear. Think of the darts, that kind of crack, the fun, and get ready for a summer party like no other. So if you're up for it, there'll be dances, offs, crowd challenges. You can win cocktail shots. There'll be summer anthems and drink promos. It's going to be great fun. It's over 18s and tickets are €25 plus a booking fee. And you can go to eventbrite.com or in fact go to Highland Radio Socials for more info there. So maybe you want to go with a friend, go on your own, or go with a group of people. It's going to be a night not to forget. Saturday the 2nd of August. Get your babysitter booked now. Go and have some fun.
It's time for Vision Ireland Bingo on Highland Radio.
It's Friday the 11th of July. You're playing on the yellow sheet for the daily prize of €600. The reference number is S20. It's game number 28. The numbers are 84, 78, 53, 40, 49, 7, 44, 9, 41, and finally 21. Phone your claim to 9104833 before midnight, leaving your name, contact number and the name of the shop where you purchased your book, and we'll call you back the next working day. Get all your Vision Ireland bingo information at highlandradio.com.
From Thursday the 17th until Sunday the 20th of July, all roads lead to Monaghan Town for the return of the highly anticipated 4-night open-air country music festival featuring Ireland's top acts, the Tumbling Paddies on Thursday, Jimmy Buckley on Friday, Mike Denver on Saturday, and Michael English on Sunday, with some of the best support acts, plus the jiving competition. Tickets are available from the West Arna Arms Hotel in Monaghan. For more information, check out Monaghan Country Music Festival website or our Facebook page.
It's Bedroom and Mattress Week at Easy Living Furniture. Everything's reduced in store and online with hundreds of sale specials and free delivery on all bedroom and mattress orders over £499. Hurry, Bedroom and Mattress Week ends soon. Only at Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry, Londonderry.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, Easy Living has it all. Easy Living Furniture. Luxury furnishings, affordable luxury.
Driving on properly inflated tyres will reduce your fuel consumption, extend the life of your tyres, and it's much better for the environment. Get your tyres checked by a Circle ELT member today. There are almost 3,000 member outlets nationwide. Circle ELT, Ireland's tyre compliance scheme, and its members help recycle and recover over 4.5 million tyres every year. To find out more, visit circleelt.ie. Circle End of Life Tyres. Driving a sustainable tomorrow.
The 9 till noon show with the award-winning Lennon Festival Ramelton. Now until July 14th. This weekend, enjoy Honour, Queen Tribute, Tumbling Paddies and ABBA Sensations. Plus family fun and entertainment for everyone. For full details, see Lennon Festival Ramelton on Facebook.
Now we're joined on the programme by Independent Councillor Jimmy Brogan. Jimmy, good morning to you. Thanks so much for your time today.
Morning, guy. How's it going?
Good. Now, we heard you on the news and just wanted to tease it out a little further with you on this programme. You're calling on the Health Minister and the HSE to address staffing issues at Killybegs Community Hospital. It's led to 13 short-term beds being closed at the facility. Now, that's a big hit, Jimmy.
Yeah, 13 beds. It's probably, I think it's probably about a third of the short-term beds in the hospital, in the community hospital. So it's imperative that they're opened as soon as possible. You know, like I've been in touch with a few people, and they were telling me these beds were closed. So that's why I contacted the HSE just for an update on what the actual situation was. You know, so I got a response then just the other day, and they just said that they're working on it says that once approval has been given to recruitment, the older persons management team will work closely with the human resources to recruit the staff. You know, so just sort of looks like they're not putting in a big effort at the moment to recruit the staff. You know, I know there has been some efforts to recruit staff in Killybegs and other hospitals, but I think they just need to up the pace a bit and make sure these staff are recruited. You know?
And what are these beds used for? Would it be sort of step down care for the Letterkenny or Sligo University hospitals to free up beds in the acute hospitals, and I suppose allow people to continue their recovery closer to home? Are they used in any other areas as well?
Well, that's exactly it. You know, most of it will be step down beds. Plus, there'll be people will be, needed short-term respite or something like. You know, that would be a position. Plus, sometimes just people, if they're not feeling well, they need somewhere to go. You know, they don't need to be in Letterkenny or Sligo, but they just need to be in a sort of a healthcare setting, like, you know. So that's really what the beds are used for. You know, so it's just it's like I say, they need to be opened as soon as they can. Like, these beds have been closed for a long time because last year they done some works on the hospital. It was called the Essential Infection Prevention and Control Measures. You know, now they closed a number of beds, and I've been onto them a few times for an update since what was happening. These beds originally were supposed to open back last October 2024. After Christmas, got onto them again, and they weren't open. And then in March, I contacted them again, and I was told that admissions had recommenced at Killybegs Community Hospital. You know, so. But they didn't tell me at the time there was a staff shortage. They said admissions had recommenced, but they didn't say there was going to be 13 left short. You know, so and now there is also beds closed in Donegal Town Community Hospital because of the same sort of works that's going on at the minute there. So and I know that's okay because they've given a time frame for the works to be done and for the beds to be taken back into action again then. So, but it's just that the community hospital in Killybegs, and it covers a wide area, you know, from Glencullen up through Killybegs, Kilcar, Killybegs, all the way up to Ruckless and Knocknelly, and obviously with Donegal Town Hospital not at full capacity, there may be an overflow needed as well. Like, you know, so
yeah, I mean, it's not a bit wonder our hospitals are under pressure when you factor this in. I'm not sure if we're into the next year of budget for home help. The budget was exhausted earlier this year, and that means, of course, there were very few, if any, new packages available or extension to packages. You know, if someone had home help and their hours were extended, that wasn't being fulfilled because the money simply had run out. You know, so there, and the problems that we're talking about here, again, and I'm sorry to sound like a scratched record, you won't experience this in Dublin because they employ far more in the private sector, and of course their hospitals are better resourced. So this is another geographical quirk of living in Donegal here, having access to this type of stay-at-home or step-down care.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what happens in Dublin. It doesn't concern me that much. My concerns are for Donegal here, like, you know. So, but I know home helps are another massive issue, and this has been going on for years and years, where there's a lack of home help. You know, I know I've been working with people, and you get somebody will be coming out of hospital and they'd be entitled to, and they'd be granted home help, but they can't get people in to fill the positions, you know. And it's all to do with the terms and conditions that home help have to endure in their employment. And it's, you know, I think a lot of the home help, if the HSE would employ them directly rather than using some of the private companies, you know, because at the end of the day, private companies are there to make money, and that's fair enough. That's what their job is, you know. But you know, their shareholders are the major concern.
No, I do hear you, but I mean, at the end of the day, in other counties, and the only reason I'm interested in Dublin because it gives us a bar as to where we're at, and they do employ more private companies, and there are people that get home care packages straight away, and whatever policy we're employing, there are people listening to this show and their families that aren't getting those home care packages. And the HSE here, they seem to have a specific way of doing it compared to other HSE areas, and it's leaving a deficit there.
Yeah, no, there definitely is a deficit in home help. You know, and that's, like I say, that's going on for years. That's not new, you know. So, and it's not, despite all the promises and sound bites, it's never actually been addressed properly by the HSE or by the government, you know. So we just need to step up. And like I say, you know, if home helps were treated properly and the proper terms, conditions, and properly, you know, make sure they got a 40-hour week, you know, I think a lot of people would stay in home help. A lot of people go into home help, but they realise it's not the job for them shortly after they start, you know, and it's not worth their while. A lot of them tell me.
Right, Jimmy,
so a lot of them leave it.
Thank you very much for that. We're going to contact the HSE and get the official line from them on it, and then hopefully get a timeline, and then that's something we can keep an eye on. But of course, you're working hard on this yourself as a local rep. Thanks very much for your time.
Thanks, Greg.
Bye-bye. See you soon. That's Councillor Jimmy Brogan there. Any views on that? Maybe you're in that area or affected by it. Maybe a loved one of yours unable to get back home into the local community. 08660 25,000. That's our WhatsApp and text number. You can also call us on 074 91 25,000. A caller says, in fact it's Vicky, there's people halfway through their defective concrete block rebuild and council aren't paying out quick enough, so builders are leaving the site. My mum and dad are pension age, one with Parkinson's. They're rebuilding a timber frame house super fast in order to get them in as soon as possible. Rented accommodation isn't even suitable, but all I could get. First invoice is in for €70,000 5 weeks ago, and another one for €100,000 due in, and we haven't received anything yet. The builder now ringing looking for payment of any kind, which we genuinely don't have. What is going to be of this? I'm worried, sick with stress for months. I can't sleep worrying about money, right? And I get why you couldn't sleep worrying about money. So the builder has furnished bills of €170,000. They've yet to receive the money from the council to give it to the builder. The builder is going to keep keeping the pressure on them because they might think that keeps the pressure on the council. Have you any advice for Vicky? Vicky, the one thing I will say, not sleeping and work. I know this is easy to say, but it's something I've tried to work on myself. Your worrying is not going to fix it, right? So the best thing to do is, bombard the council, get in touch with the likes of us. Don't be lying in bed worrying about it because that's not going to change it. It will get resolved, but just try and look after yourself because you're looking after two very important people, and it's important that you look after yourself because they need you. So if you can, and I know it's easier said than done, if you can try and say, look, this is the situation, and focus on bombarding the council and try and give yourself a break, if that makes any sense at all. But we will see what other listeners out there, have you experienced that? Do you know what's going on? Have you any advice for Vicky? Please get in touch. 08660 25,000.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook, and at highlandradio.com.
The 9 till noon show with the award-winning Lennon Festival Ramelton. Join us Monday, July 14th for the festival's grand finale, featuring ABBA Sensations Live, followed by a spectacular fireworks display. For the latest festival updates, follow Lennon Festival Ramelton on Facebook.
How we use electricity can be smarter, cleaner, and greener. At Electric Ireland, we can help guide you there.
You're looking up.
You see, our new Net Zero Hub has all you need to know about smart meter plans, EV tariffs, solar panels, and much more. Making your usage clearer, your trips greener, your home cozier, and your world brighter. Find our Net Zero Hub at electricireland.ie.
Imagine this, toes in the sand at Old Head Beach, the thrill of zip-lining at Westport Adventure, wandering colourful streets, ice cream in hand, sailing across the calm waters of Clew Bay, the wind in your hair on the Great Western Greenway. Westport. Find your own adventure at destinationwestport.com.
Brian McCormick Sports. Summer sale is now on. Click on bmcsports.ie. Up to 50% off. Brooks, Asics and Hoka footwear. In-store and online. Women's Adidas clothing. Save 30% on tops, tees and matching bottoms. Adidas and Puma football boots clearing. Up to 50% off. Summer sale now at Brian McCormick Sports, Main Street, Letterkenny. Or click on bmcsports.ie for next day delivery.
Buy any new Renault passenger vehicle from Highland Motors in Letterkenny before the 19th of this month and get a €500 Shop LK voucher on top of Renault's already great offers. This is for a limited time only, so don't miss out at Highland Motors, Mountain Top, Letterkenny. See highlandmotors.com.
The Northwest Vintage Club will hold a vintage show at Milford Livestock Mart this Sunday, 13th of July. A great day out with vintage and classic cars and tractors. Auto jumble, bric-a-brac, novelty stalls, canteen and lots of parking. Classic vehicle drivers go free before 2 p.m. Entry for adults is €8. Children go free. Gates open for exhibitors at 9 a.m. and spectators at 12 noon. With proceeds made of MIFA Voluntary Fire Service.
You're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio. There was something coming up with the RNLI. Caroline, I forwarded it on to you. Could you print it off for me? It's a fundraiser that's coming up. It's in Malin, I think. Okay, but to matters close to hand, Emer Heaney, but not too close, not uncomfortably close. Emer Heaney, Roma Community Development and Advocacy Worker. Good morning to you. How are you, Emer?
I'm good, thank you. How are you
doing? Are you enjoying the weather?
I am.
It's nice, isn't it? It's not for everyone, though. I do be conscious of that. Sorry, you're also the advocacy worker with the Donegal Traveller Project, I should say. And what an honour. You've achieved a huge recent success at the 2025 Galway Film Fleadh. Tell me about it.
We have. So Donegal Travellers Project last year created a short documentary about the Roma community living in Donegal. We first got some funding in early 2024 through Creative Ireland with huge support from Andrew McNulty at Donegal County Council. And then from there we hired or brought on a local creative team, filmmaker Joe Doherty and director Katie McLaughlin-Robinson. And we also had members of our Roma staff, particularly David Carpacci, who serves as co-producer. So what we did was we essentially created a snapshot of the life that Roma and Donegal had in June and July of 2024. There was a few days of filming, but then a lot more work afterwards went into the editing.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So in the end, we came out with a really, really beautiful piece that we were really, really happy with. So the director submitted it to Galway Film Fleadh. And it was an honour just to be selected to be screened there at all. But we also amazingly got nominated for an award. So we're really, really happy with it.
Yeah, because it's one thing you sort of leaning back with the finished product and going, oh, wow, we did well here, right? But it's when it's scrutinised externally that's where you get the real validation, isn't it? Of course. And as you say, it's one thing to be selected. That's a great achievement in and of itself. But also to be in the running for an award is fantastic. So Sam Rom is what it's called. You've described what it is. How is the story told? I mean, obviously, you've got the Roma community, presumably, but also you've got our beautiful county. It's a marriage between the two, is it?
It is, yeah. So Sam Rom, that's Romanes, the Roma language, and it means I am Roma. And I think that gives you a really good overview of what the documentary is about. It's it follows a narrative of the Roma living in Donegal. There is discussion about the challenges they face, but also I would say it's more than that, a celebration of Roma culture and everything Roma contribute to our communities. And there is as well input from Dr. Karen White, who has a long history of working with Roma, and she provides a kind of narrative as the Roma locally discuss the culture and identity and feelings of belonging and whatnot. Karen provides a kind of broader view of Roma experiences on a European context, but then even just a wider Ireland context as well.
Yeah, of course. And it's about their lives here, but also I'm sorry to always talk about the platforms our beautiful county as well too, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, yeah. Again, anyone from Donegal who watches it, I think, will feel proud of the beautiful landscapes and scenery that the filmmakers got. It really is a beautiful piece of work.
Obviously, this had to be what the Roma community themselves wanted portrayed. So can you give us an overshot of what they view their life as is in Donegal, if that makes sense?
When watching the film, like I said, there is discussions of challenges, but what you'll find is that every person we interviewed had overwhelmingly positive things to say about living in Donegal. They, like I said, Roma are part of our community. They aren't outsiders by any degree, and there's plenty of Roma locally who have born in Ireland, raised in Ireland, and Ireland is home. Mm-hmm. And this is sorry, compared to, there would be folks as well in the who are interviewed who do speak about the difficulties of being made to feel like they don't belong.
Yeah, well, you're combating a narrative as well too, aren't you? Potentially speaking.
Yeah, I think a challenge that Roma face in Ireland or across Europe, you could say as well, is that there's a lot of discourse about Roma without including Roma in it. And what we're really proud of about this documentary is that the narrative was Roma-led. So the director and the filmmaker didn't go into this with an agenda about how the story they wanted to portray. They interviewed Roma, and Roma led the way with the story that they wanted to tell.
Yeah, and what the county means to them, what belonging to the county looks like from their perspective, of course. We can't see it, can we? It's sort of, I mean, there's a trailer there, and the trailer looks lovely. It's obviously very well shot, but it's going to be available to view at the Galway Film Fleadh documentary 2 category, which is not unusual, right? Because obviously there has to be a bit of exclusivity there, and then what comes from that is that it's been chosen and hopefully award winning, and then you move into the next sort of public screening stage of it, I'd imagine. Emer, is that the plan?
Yeah. So we had an initial launch when we first finished it, and that was prioritised to make sure the Roma communities who participated could see the work that they participated in. And like you said, there is a certain degree of you have to kind of keep things under wraps until you find out the results of your entry into film competitions. But after the screening now at Galway Film Fleadh, we are certainly looking to do more screenings across the country.
For sure. Okay, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again then. The screening at the Galway Film Fleadh is the 13th of July 2025. Do we know when it's announced if it's been successful? I mean, to be shortlisted is success, but in terms of actually winning the award?
We will know by Sunday evening,
Very
my
exciting.
understanding. But like I said, I'd like to stress we are just so honoured to have been
Of course,
nominated.
yeah,
all.
this is all gravy. Yeah, on top of what getting funding, getting it together, being happy with it, getting it shown. Like this is everything is just extra layers of great stuff. Are you going down?
We are, yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah, we got a whole crew of us, not just myself and my colleagues, but members of the Roma community are coming down with us as well.
Okay, brilliant. Best of luck with that. It's on the 13th of July, which is Sunday, actually, okay? The year's going away on me. So that's Sunday, right? That's this weekend. Brilliant. So hopefully on Monday we'll be able to announce success. But as I say, there's success there already, okay? Winning it would be fantastic, but I think you have achieved something fantastic already. Thank you very much indeed, Emer. I do appreciate it. Best wishes to all. Safe journey. Emer Heaney, Roma Community Development and Advocacy Worker with the Donegal Traveller Project.
The 9 till noon show, proudly sponsored by the award-winning Lennon Festival Ramelton, now in full swing. This weekend, catch headline acts: Honour, Queen Tribute, Tumbling Paddies and ABBA Sensations. For tickets, search Lennon Festival on Eventbrite.
Love Kia as much as we do? Then you need to visit iMotors. Choose petrol, diesel, hybrid or go electric with the award-winning EV3, World Car of the Year. And of course, our celebrity, the Kia Sportage. Donegal's best-selling car. From everyday drives to bold adventures, there's a Kia for every journey. Visit imotors.ie today.
iMotors, fearless generation.
Minister to seek nitrates extension. In this week's Irish Farmers Journal, shock and surprise in farming as goalpost shift and derogation renewal. Find out what changes are in store for your farm. Factories scrambled for Finnish cattle. New plan to tax tractor tyres. Wheeling prices continue to rocket at Marts as lamb prices are under pressure. Has the ESB the right to put power lines on your land? Plus, your chance to win a €30,000 Husqvarna mower. All inside this week's Irish Farmers Journal.
Since I switched to Hidden Hearing, I can hear it all. You could save up to €3,000 off invisible hearing aids. Save when you switch to us, upgrade, or save on your very first hearing aids. Pre-phone 1-800-370-000. Switch and save at hiddenhearing.ie. You should go to the hearing experts. T's and C's apply.
The Hillary's summer sale just got even better. Get up to 50% off hundreds of made-to-measure blinds, curtains and shutters. Plus an extra 10% off everything until the 28th of July. That's 10% off all blinds, 10% off all curtains and 10% off all shutters. With Hillary's, measuring and fitting is always included and your local advisor is with you every step of the way. Book your free in-home appointment today or visit hillary.ie. But hurry, this extra 10% off everything ends 28th of July. Conditions apply.
Oakfest 2025 returns to Oakfield Park this September 6th and 7th. 2 days, 2 stages, 1 unforgettable weekend. Enjoy live music, incredible food and drink, and glamping under the stars, all in one of Ireland's most spectacular settings. Saturday, live and original, featuring Wet Wet Wet, Boney M, Racy, and the Whistling Donkeys. Sunday, Legends Reimagined, with tribute performances to the Eagles, Blondie, Springsteen, and more. Tickets are going fast. Get yours now at oakfieldpark.com.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhenney's. Find amazing savings across our departments with up to 50% off your favourite brands in our summer sale. Discover more in-store or shop online at mcelhenneys.com today.
So, sunny, dry and very warm today. A touch of cloud may drift in here or there, though it's staying largely dry. Light winds, plenty of sunshine. We're back talking about animal attacks on livestock in Ireland, and it's a conversation we have 3 times a year, minimum 3 times a year, and I've been having this conversation in one guise or another, be it back in my Northwest radio days, which is a lifetime away, and it doesn't seem to be that we're making any inroads into alleviating this often silent issue because it affects the farming community, and they can speak out, but because it doesn't broadly affect people, I don't think it gets the traction it deserves, but it has a huge impact on their livelihoods and a huge impact on the animals and what they have to go through as well. John Joe Fitzgerald is Vice President of the Irish Natra and Hill Farmers Association. John Joe, thanks for your time. Good to chat to you.
Thanks very much for having me on.
You know, and it's scattered across every county, every region, individual farmers waking up to this. How bad a problem is it? How widespread, I suppose? We know, but listen, we have to have the conversation.
Yes, look, it's very widespread. I suppose it's a silent crime is the way to describe it. You take the amount of animals, I suppose, that have been affected in this country, going by figures in 2023 there, you're talking about 730 animals that have either been maimed or killed, torn to pieces by what you call it, by marauding dogs is the only way to describe it. Now, these are official figures from the Department of Housing, but we know from speaking to farmers on the ground, this figure could be 3 times higher than what they are quoting. And the worst thing about it is it's happening week after week. Farmers have got to the stage that they don't report it anymore because there was absolutely nothing being done about it. And you can imagine yourself now as having a family pet there, and you wake up in the morning, go outside the door and see your family pet torn to shreds. How does that affect you? How does that affect you mentally? This is what farmers are going through every day of the week, 365 days a year. And there was one guy there that I met after the 8th of December last year, right up. I kept in contact with him right up until the end of February. And I spoke to him one day, and this was 2 weeks after the previous meeting I had with him. And the guy looked absolutely wrecked, shattered. And I asked him, "Are you feeling okay?" And he said, "John Joe," he says, "every night," he says, "since the dog attack, I keep waking up. If I hear a dog barking, I head downstairs, grab the gun, run out into the field, and just to see are my animals being attacked again by dogs." So the mental stress that this is causing farm families up and down this country is absolutely unreal.
Now, John Joe,
And
we
you
know
take-
responsibility moved to the Department of Agriculture at the start of last month. It should be a smooth enough transfer. We did hear the ads going out, it's not your dog. Sorry, it's not your dog's fault, it's yours. I think they ran through June, if my memory serves me correctly. But other than that, other than a couple of adverts, what else is being done or what else could be done?
Well, look, what we're looking for, and it's something new, I suppose. Well, it's been mentioned with years, but look, it's all moved to the Department of Agriculture now. We'll have a centralised national database for dogs, and that will incorporate the dog licence, microchipping, but something new that we are looking for as a farming organisation, a DNA sample to be taken from every dog in this country. And the simple reason we are asking for that is when the farmer gets to the field and his animals are dead and torn to pieces, the dogs have left, and we have no way of tracing those dog owners or that dog. So if we have the DNA samples taken, at least if there is an attack on your farm animals, we can test the saliva and the cuts and tears and go back to our national database and able to trace the owners.
How robust is that database, though? Because, the dog has to be connected to the owner. What is the chipping uptake? How compliant are people? I'm just thinking that I would say the majority of these attacks are from complacent or negligent dog owners. Are they following all the other rules that might lead the dog back to them?
No, and that's the biggest problem. It's a cohort of dog owners there, a small minority of dog owners that are not taking responsibility for their dogs. They probably haven't their dogs microchipped or even a dog license for it, because going by official figures there's less than 200,000 dogs in this country that have dog license. And we know from government officials and stuff, and dealing with the Department of Housing, there is anywhere between 600,000 and 800,000 dogs in this country. So, and on top of that, I spoke to a retired dog warden there. He was in County Kerry, and he told me, "John Joe, I brought a lot of cases to courts about fines and everything. And the honest truth, to tell you straight out," he says, "the whole lot of them, John Joe, were thrown out." He says, "The judge felt sorry for the fella that owned the dog." And he says, what message does that send out then when you have people being brought to court, and you can go by official figures there from the Department of Housing. 1,900 people were fined in 2023. There was only 630 of those that actually paid the fines. So
that would point to a high level of enforcement, John Joe, really, to some extent, right? I know it's not near enough. Well, that's a lot of people before the courts. So why is the penny not dropping then?
See, that's. I'll give you another example of it now. There's a lot of people before the courts, but if the judge feels sorry for the dog owner, and the poor warden that's there then wish he had never brought the case to court because it's not been dealt with and it's been thrown out. I'll give you an example there. I've heard from a farmer up in County Wicklow there. He shot a marauding dog on his land that was crossing a river. He followed that dog because the dog was injured right into the house or the property that the guy that owned the dog. This went to court. It went to, when it was in court, the solicitor for the fellow that owned the dog asked your man the question, did you take your eyes off that dog from the time you shot it until the time it went into the house? He says, I didn't. I followed right the way through. Did you cross over a road? He says, I did. Well, did you look left and right when you crossed over that road? He says, I did. Well, then you took your eyes off that dog. The court case was thrown out. And on top of that then, that poor guy that shot the dog, he had to pay the expenses for bringing that dog to what you call the vet and everything else.
Yeah.
So if the court is not willing to deal with these and only give them a slap on the wrist, what message does that send out to us?
Because it's seen as an oversight, unless you're a repeat offender. You know, the adverts did say it's your responsibility, not the dog's. But when you go in front of the judge and you go, oh well, it was just this and it was just that and it was just the other. You know, I mean, obviously, it's not really the responsibility of the owner. The dog ends up getting the blame. Your organisation is calling for a number of things which seem fair. Mandatory licensing, microchipping and DNA sampling. All that's invaluable, actually, in case a human got bit, let alone what might happen to animals. A single central database under the Department of Agriculture, which also would make a lot of sense. It would complement point one. Legislation banning non-working dogs from hills and farmlands. Now we're getting into the potential sticky wicket here, John Joe. I mean, owners are already banned from taking their dogs onto the beach. They'd be banned then from having them in or around, I presume, farms and farmland and from hills. There's going to be a big pushback on that suggestion, I'd suggest.
Not really. To say on beaches, the blue flag beaches, all right, at certain times of the year, periods of the year, dogs are banned from there. But from what we understand, dogs are allowed to run free on beaches in this country, but they have to be under factual control. Now, they need somewhere to go. There can be parks developed for it. There is what you call state agencies there that have a pile of land in the forestry sector and stuff like that, and they allow dogs to come onto that land, but they're they're on a leash. But for farmland and hills and stuff like that, what we have seen is recreational users bringing their dogs onto these places. With years, we've been asking them to keep them on the lead. That hasn't worked because as soon as they get your back turned, the dog is off the leash again. And from my own personal point of view, and talking to farmers from Donegal right down to West Kerry here, a lot of people have asked people to put their dogs on the leashes.
Yeah.
And their backs are turned, they're left off the leash. They can see their sheep being run or hounded into cliffs over rocks.
No, I've seen it myself. I know, you're right. But John Joe, just in relation to that, I mean, obviously we already see a lot of greenways going through farmland, and we're likely to see more. And maybe that's a bargaining chip farmers might have in their hands. Would you also ban dogs from, greenway walkways that go through or are adjacent to farmland and hills?
Well, what we see with greenways, and what my understanding of it, these areas are well fenced off. There you have a greenway going through. There's a tall fence on each side in a lot of cases. But look, on top of that as well, I've been talking to people that walk greenways, both women, men, and children, and they said they cannot enjoy the greenways because you have a group of people as well coming onto the greenways, bringing 4 or 5 dogs with them. They're left off the leash. They're jumping up on everybody. People are frightened of dogs.
But do you know the one thing I've seen in relation to that, John Joe, is dog owners who love their dogs don't get that. They don't actually understand that large swathes of the population either don't want their dirty spit or asses near them, or they might actually be afraid of them. But there seems to be some sort of a thinking in a bubble, if that makes sense. They don't get that. You know, I've seen.
They don't get it.
I've seen me with Hudson on the beach when dogs shouldn't actually be on the beach. And by the way, I'm no goody two shoes. Let me make that very clear. And then people laughing and cajoling as the dog runs up and jumps up on him. And I'm like, seriously? Is there no sort of social awareness here that that's not for everyone? That, you know, it's not fun?
Yeah, and you've hit it right in the head there, is we need to educate these people. There needs to be a proper campaign, not a Mickey Mouse campaign that we see at the moment. We need to start in schools, in primary schools. Niamh Monaghan there, a farmer from County Monaghan, she's a school teacher. She has taken upon herself, and there's another lady there, I can't think of her name now, but she is involved with Agri Kids. She set up a little company that goes into schools that teaches kids about the awareness of farming and the benefits of farming, but also she's going to go on a campaign to educate kids from a very young age on the responsibility of owning a dog and what's expected of you.
Rightio.
And she's doing that from...
We look forward to that.
So,
that's down the country. Maybe it'll be rolled out. John Joe Fitzgerald, Vice President of the Irish Nature and Hill Farmers Association. Thank you. Any views on relation to that, either within the farming community or outside the farming community, please get them into us. 086 60 25,000. Now, on Sunday the 20th of July, so this is Sunday week, there is a Tower to Town challenge. It's a 10-mile challenge and 5k lag walk run. Both of them start at 11 a.m. You can register online at Malin RNLI's Facebook page. Excuse me. The challenge is €25. The 5k, €10 for a family, €20. And of course, it's to raise money for the RNLI, isn't it? So that's the Tower to Town challenge, Sunday week, 10-mile challenge and 5k lag walk run. Both nice early start, but not too early, 11 a.m. Get onto the Malin RNLI Facebook page and register there. Now, there's a quiz night taking place in Clohan Centre tonight. It's in aid of baby Oran McGinley, who's the son of Linda and Bernard McGinley, of course, from Kilty Fergal in Glenfin. Oran is going to be 7 months old tomorrow and suffers from a serious congenital heart disease. And since birth, he's spent all his time in both the National Maternity Hospital and the Children's Hospital in Crumlin, where he awaits major open heart surgery. So any funds raised will be to help his parents to cover travel and accommodation and expenses, as Oran's recovery will take place over a long period of time. So firstly, happy birthday to Oran. He's 7 months tomorrow. Lots of love too to Linda and Bernard as well. Very, very tough on mums and dads and the whole family, as well as Oran does his little battle. So teams of, it's a quiz night. It's in Clohan Centre tonight, 8:30 p.m. Refreshments served and a raffle will take place on the night as well. So it's teams of 4 people, all 5, and it's €5 admission per team. And as I say, lots of fun. People love quizzes, don't they? And it's a little bit like other things we're talking of. It's about raising money for We Oran, but it's also about supporting the McGinley family and showing we care. So if you can get along for an hour or two to the Clohan Centre tonight, it's a quiz night. €5 per team, which is really quite modest, and there's going to be refreshments served and a raffle taking place on the night. You might hear in the distance instruments. Can you hear them? They're warming up. They're going to be in with us in the next hour. I've always said if I came into money, I'd buy a massive secure plot of land and let people bring their dogs to have their freedom. But that's like a zoo, isn't it? I don't know. You see, people want the freedom on their terms. Sounds like a good idea, but, often we want to go where other people don't want us to go. That's not against dog owners. That's just the way it is. I live beside a blue flag beach. Never more dogs since they took in the laws, but nothing enforced. Of course not. It's a load of nonsense. Do you know the funny thing is the people that listen to that are the responsible dog owners as well, which are in the majority. 99% of dog owners are wonderful people who take wonderful care of their dogs. Not a bother out of them at all. It's lovely to see them. But the 1% that think that everyone loves their dogs as much as they do, they're the ones that aren't going to take guidance or a request not to go onto a blue flag beach, you see. And that tarnishes the reputation of all the wonderful dog owners that are very compliant. What about untagged sheep on regional roads? Are there untagged sheep on regional roads? Let me know. I don't know if that's against the law, is it? 086 60 25,000. Not much use if they're untagged because you can't do anything with them. Can you claim headage on them? Or payments if they're not tagged. I don't know. Right, news on the way, and then much more in the last hour.
Highland Bakery brings the magic to your morning tea break. Golden scones, still warm, soft in the middle and impossible to resist. Look for the packet with the rabbit on it. Fresh from the oven to your local shop. 25 years of Highland Bakery.
Carrickdon's sizzling summer sale now on. Reductions of up to 50% off in all departments. Shop the summer sale in stores nationwide or online at carrickdon.com.
It's Bedroom and Mattress Week at Easy Living Furniture. Everything's reduced in store and online with hundreds of sale specials and free delivery on all bedroom and mattress orders over £499. Hurry, Bedroom and Mattress Week ends soon. Only at Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry, Londonderry.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, Easy Living has it all. Easy Living Furniture. Luxury furnishings, affordable luxury.
Recreational drugs can give you a different buzz, but they can all impair your driving. Some drugs can slow down your reactions, leaving you prone to error.
Other drugs can make you more aggressive, and overconfident behind the wheel, so you make rash judgments, drive too fast, and take dangerous risks.
Drug driving can endanger you, your passengers, and other road users. Never ever drive under the influence of drugs. A message from the Road Safety Authority. Visit rsa.ie.
Travelling to Dublin for business? Donegal Airport's same-day return makes it easy. Fly out at 7:55am and return at 6:50pm. Great fares and low-cost parking. Save time and book now at aerlingus.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for a great day out right here in Donegal? Step into the Crawley Distillery Visitor Experience. Proudly voted one of the best places to visit by TripAdvisor. Set in a beautifully restored historic building, it's where the story of Crawley whisky comes to life. Take a guided tour, explore the rich history and enjoy a warm fáilte in the heart of the Gaeltacht. Book now at thecrawleydistillery.com.
The 9 till noon show with the award-winning Lennon Festival Ramelton. Now until July 14th. This weekend, enjoy Honour, Queen Tribute, Tumblin' Paddies and ABBA Sensations. Plus family fun and entertainment for everyone. For full details, see Lennon Festival Ramelton on Facebook.
You have a pint, Gareth?
Okay, it's 11 o'clock, time for a news update. It's over to Donald Kavanagh.
Thank you, Greg. Good morning. The Health Minister and HSE are being urged to address staffing issues at Killybegs Community Hospital. A local councillor says they've led to 13 short-term beds being closed at the facility. Councillor Jimmy Brogan says he's been told this is because more staff are required and he wants more urgency to be applied to the process. The chair of Ógra Fianna Fáil in Donegal says more should have been done to resolve the situation regarding a group of children from Gaza who won't be allowed to come to Ireland because of visa issues. Speaking on today's 9 till noon show, Ben Harkin also expressed concern that children in need of medical attention and surgery are also being delayed in coming to Ireland for treatment, and that, he says, is a situation that needs to be urgently addressed. The Social Democrats have decided to back independent TD Catherine Connolly for the position of president. The party's national executive met last night and unanimously voted to put its support behind the Galway TD. It's reported she wants to begin a campaign next week, assuming she can get the support of 20 Oireachtas members. It's not yet known if Sinn Féin will run their own candidate or choose to back Deputy Connolly as a Unity Left candidate. EU leaders are on tenterhooks to see if Donald Trump will hike US import tariffs to 15 or 20%. Trade ministers meet on Monday and may extend a pause on retaliatory tariffs if a deal is struck this weekend. An agreement has been ready since Wednesday, but President Trump has yet to sign off on it. Overnight, he announced extra tariffs being imposed on Canada. And the Department of Agriculture has issued a warning denoting extreme risk of gorse and forest fires until next Monday. People are being warned to take extreme care as temperatures reach up to 29 degrees today. 14 counties, including Cavan and Monaghan, come under a yellow warning for high temperatures from midday today. That will be extended to Donegal and all other counties from midday tomorrow. They're the headlines. Back with headlines again at 12 noon.
Thanks very much, Donald, and we'll be back with some amazing live music, I anticipate, after the break.
The 9 till noon show with the award-winning Lennon Festival Ramelton. Join us Monday, July 14th for the festival's grand finale, featuring ABBA Sensations Live, followed by a spectacular fireworks display. For the latest festival updates, follow Lennon Festival Ramelton on Facebook.
Access to the all-rounder Audi Q7 plug-in hybrid is all yours. With up to 84 kilometers of electric range, experience luxurious driving and passenger comfort. Discover all the advantages to owning a new Audi Q7 plug-in hybrid with introductory incentives and Audi all-access offers, including the Vorsprung pack with leather interior, panoramic sunroof and more. Terms and conditions apply. Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik.
Summer toys at Tinny's Toys. Everything for an outdoor summer. Swings, slides, trampolines, goalposts, rebounders, sand table, wheelbarrows. Of course, we also have our massive range of kids, pedal and electric toys. Need something for those rainy days? Well, we've that covered too, with the likes of Brooder Toys, Lego, Marvel Toys, books and more. Call into our store on the Leck Road, Letterkenny, or shop online at tinnystoys.com. Tinny's Toys. Much more than just farm toys. Dan Boy.
Us Irish like to think we know when something sounds too good to be true, like getting a quick and easy car insurance quote.
Ah, come off it.
Plus great value cover.
You're joking.
From a trusted provider.
Pull the other leg.
And most of the time, we're right. But not this time. See for yourself at onpostinsurance.ie. Acceptance criteria, terms and conditions apply. One Direct Ireland Limited trading as An Post Insurance is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. One Direct Ireland Limited is a wholly owned subsidiary of An Post. Best price online.
Unmissable deals at Evolve Clothing. Tommy Hilfiger jeans only €50. Chinos and jeans from just €10. Summer sale is on now at Letterkenny Retail Park or shop online at evolveclothing.com. Stocks won't last.
Heading to Croke Park this weekend? Make a pit stop at Donegal-owned McCafferty's at the Barge, Dublin. Enjoy top-notch food, cold drinks and all the live GAA. Just a short hop away. McCafferty's Dublin is your match day destination.
For the biggest names in perfume and aftershaves, visit McGee's Chemist Letterkenny. Dolce & Gabbana, Paco Rabanne, Carolina Herrera, Calvin Klein, Jimmy Choo and Burberry, Ariana Grande, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Vera Wang and many more. From timeless classics to celebrity favourites, there's a perfume or aftershave for everyone at McGee's Chemist Letterkenny and online at mcgees.ie.
Highland Radio Time Checks brought to you by EirGrid, the operator and developer of Ireland's electricity grid. EirGrid, powering up communities, powering up Ireland. The time is?
The time now is 5 minutes past 11. We're into the final hour of the 9 till noon show, and we've got a treat for you. We've got a new music collaboration between Irish and Iraqi folk, and we're going to learn much more about that, but most importantly, hear what this collaboration sounds like. To set that up, I'm joined in studio. It's actually almost standing behind me, such is the level of the amount of people we have in. It's Paul Brown, CEO and Artistic Director of the Errigal Arts Festival. We've got to get two pieces, so we'll have a brief chat, listen to some music and chat again, Paul, but this already is I think this is going to be good.
Yeah, well, this is kind of our official opening concert tomorrow night at the RCC in Letterkenny. It's been a pretty amazing journey for all the musicians involved. It started last year with a visit from the Iraqi musicians to the northwest, and continued on. Then the Irish musicians went to Hawk in Kurdistan last November and performed at the university there. The project was initiated with support of the British Council, the offices in Northern Ireland and in Baghdad, and it brings together basically the traditions of Ireland and a number of different Iraqi folk traditions as well too. The musical director is Marty Coyle. He's here with us now as well too. So maybe Marty can explain a little bit more.
This is my second bouzouki of the week.
Is it I?
I know you wait for one bouzouki, then two turn up in the 1 week. We can test now how good you are in yours compared to what we heard before. Marty, music it's that international language, isn't it? It's the language that unites us all.
It is indeed, and it's this project in particular has been fantastic to work on. We support from British Council, and then the Errigal Arts Festival gave us an outlet to communicate internationally with this collective of musicians from Iraq. They're working throughout Iraq with different communities within the country themselves, and then they're going further again and reaching out around the world to work with music from our tradition. So it's a beautiful.
And we will hear. So when you sort of trying to. When we've got two sort of different musical backgrounds, here's a lot of similarities, of course, right? So is it that you collectively play something Irish, then collectively play something Iraqi, or do you try and blend and marry the two? I mean, obviously time is an issue in terms of how much of a lead-in you have to these concerts and all.
Yeah, we're trying to marry the two within pieces. One of the pieces you're going to hear today is actually... We heard it first out in the guys perform it in Iraq, and we thought it was actually an Irish piece when we heard it, because it's in jig time, and we were hearing a jig straight away in our head. So that was kind of one of the jumping off points for us to go, right, we're going to take this piece and team it with an Irish piece, and they're so similar that we're actually having trouble jumping between the two, because when we hear the Iraq tune, it actually sounds so Irish to us, and I don't know if you're getting that.
So it's almost naturally blended.
Yeah. Just I think it's the rhythms are quite similar.
It would be wonderful, impossible though, to follow the threads of influence in which directions they went, and how a musical sound in one part of the world can sound so familiar to another.
Yeah,
that happens over time and naturally and organically, and we'll never know why. But it's just it's remarkable. Right. Well, we'll chat a bit more. But tell us what we're going to hear first, Martin.
First, well, I'm going to set this up by giving you a pure flavour of the Iraqi musicians. Right. In a sense, they're going to play a short piece before we play a combined piece, just so you can hear the wonderful instruments they've got here today.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Whenever you're ready, gentlemen. Great stuff. Bit of applause, wouldn't it? As you've all held instruments. Niwar, what is that style of music in your country? Where might that be played? Is that something you might hear on the radio? Is it something that's very traditional, something that might be played at a wedding?
So this song, it's kind of you hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this type of music, particularly like we tell it Chalghi Baghdad. It's from 60s, 70s in Baghdad. There were lots of bands playing this type of music, Yeah, and it's just for every occasion, and yeah, you'll hear it in weddings, you'll hear it everywhere.
And it's amazing how much music you're able to generate with 3 instruments. It is 3, isn't it? There were 3 there, but it sounds like an orchestra almost. It really is. And Iraqi music, is it heavily influenced from other parts of the world? We talked about how it happened to sound like some Irish music, but are there Asian influences there as well, or?
Yeah, so talking about Iraq, it's actually like so hard to talk about one type of music, because it's very like big, many ethnicities, many group, religious group, national like difference. So everyone have type of their own music.
Yeah, it's like food, isn't it too? I presume there's different regions of different foods and different cultures and all that type of stuff.
Exactly.
So you can't pigeonhole it as such.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
All right, sounds fantastic. Loved it. What a treat. Okay. Marty, the concert, it's in the Regional Cultural Centre on Saturday, the 8 p.m. Maybe, Paul, you might come in back in for that. It's tomorrow night. Effectively, we're going to hear more. We're going to hear a collab, right, as the kids say nowadays. But that's a sense of, it's great to get an opportunity to be able to, sample music from a different region, such high class music as well.
I mean, that's been an important part of the Argyll Arts Festival since it was started 38 years ago. Was about bringing international artists to the doorsteps of the communities in Donegal.
I must say, actually, because me and you've talked about this over the years, and I think this is one of the first times where we've actually got to sample it live in the studio, certainly while I've been in the seat.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's great for me to get an insight into it.
It's amazing, and thanks so much for having everybody in here, and it's such a tight space as well too. So, but yeah, it is an important part of the festival every year, and it's an important part to bring people from different parts of the world together. So this really kind of symbolizes that. We have music that is from another part of the world, working together with music from here. To produce what was one of our signature concerts this year. So it's the opening concert tomorrow night in the RCC. But yeah, we're delighted. The guys have been here all week. They've been rehearsing all week in the RCC and working pretty hard. They're going off to Sligo to perform at Carja Arts Festival in Sligo this evening, and then they're back here in Donegal tomorrow. So
yeah, and as you say, this week, this month, for what's left of this month, effectively, this is about music from and different cultures coming into our area, but as you've already pointed out, it's a two-way street. At other times of the year, it's us going to Iraq or Baghdad or wherever it might be, and I suppose spreading our we're very good at it, but spreading our culture around the world.
Yeah, well, that's part. Music. The festival is a platform for local artists as much as it is about bringing international artists in. But you're right, we create these collaborative commissions, and then they travel. So they might travel out to other festivals around the world. As I said, the guys here were in Kurdistan last November for performances at the University of Dahok. So it is about people going both out of the country and coming into the country as well too.
Right. Okay. Marty, how long have you had to work on playing together, to marrying the sounds that we're talking of here?
We're about 2 years into this project now, but we've been working a lot remotely. British Council have been able to take us out to Iraq on 2 occasions, and this is your second trip to Ireland as well. So the time that we get to spend, together in a room is really, really important. We've been on the RCC all week, been able to blow the dust off some things we've been working on in the past.
In a way, this is even extra special, right?
It is.
So
it is.
Yeah, cause we're all in a different room to the RCC.
Yeah.
All right, it's all part of the step. I'm trying to take some credit for the entire concept. I'm only messing. Right, Marty, what are we going to hear then? Send it up for us.
We're going to hear the tune Sherfadine, and this is the tune we heard in Iraq when we were
that
last
you thought,
out.
hold on a second.
We were all was at a jig. We're going to team it up with a tune called Lord of the Dance, and we will see you at the other side.
All right, whenever you're ready, gents and ladies.
şerfedine şerfedine dinlemeye şerfedine 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 dinlemeye şerfedine dinlemeye şerfedine dinlemeye şerfedine dinlemeye avataca serimeye avruniya cavimeye avruniya cavimeye avruniya cavimeye şerfedine dinlemeye avataca serimeye avruniya cavimeye avruniya cavimeye avruniya cavimeye şerfedine 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 dinlemeye şerfedine 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 dinlemeye şerfedine dinlemeye avataca serimeye avruniya cavimeye avruniya cavimeye avruniya cavimeye
done. Brilliant stuff. Sounds fantastic. It almost sounds like some instruments there are being repurposed into something they weren't necessarily designed to, but it sounds absolutely amazing. You get a sense that we're hearing, real new sounds for the first time. Marty, very happy with how it's coming through, of course. Really looking forward to the gig tomorrow night, because that's locally where the fruit of all your labour really comes on show. And I know musicians love playing music and love great settings, so it's all there. Are there any tickets available, Marty, or is that a Paul question? Paul, whip that round to your... are there any tickets available for tomorrow night?
There are some tickets left, yeah. People can get them through the box office at Green Theatre or online at eaf.ie. That's the best way to get them.
Okay, Marty, Lucia, Denise, Nirwar, Saman, Helen and Giovanni, thanks all of you. Paul, just for a second, right, because I don't want to lose focus that there's an awful lot going on. We have the same problem every year. What the bloomin' hell do we talk about? Because there's 2 weeks of this stuff, and there's something for everyone all over the place. The guide's the place to go, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
And plan your events. Some are paid, many are free.
Yeah, we have a huge amount of events right across the county, from Malin, and then a showing right down to Donegal Town this year. It's the first time we're programming events at Donegal Castle, out to Torrey and Gola and Ishboffin. So yeah, there's a huge amount on over the next 2 weeks up until the 26th. The website has all the details and a lot more explanatory notes in that than what's in the brochure. But the brochures are out in cafes, restaurants, hotels, shops around the county now
and
as
there's
well.
circuses, there's the spoken word, there's workshops. I mean, your creative juices, if you're that way inclined, are going to be flowing between now and the 26th.
Very much so. As you say, there's a lot of it's free. With working with our partners across the county as well, to a huge visual arts programme. A lot of workshops that are happening as well too in the programme. We'll give you details about that.
Okay, listen, thank you so very much indeed. Thank you to all of you, by the way, for cramming yourselves in here. It's greatly appreciated. I think it lended well to the acoustics in the end, even if it wasn't terribly comfortable for you. But the best of luck down in Sligo and back up in Donegal tomorrow and for the rest of your trip. And everyone, enjoy the Errigal Arts Festival. It runs from the 12th to the 26th of July. Get your brochure. They're all over the place. But if you can't, or if you prefer not to, eaf.ie and plan what you're going to do over the next couple of weeks. Okay, we'll be back with more after the break.
The 9 till Noon Show, proudly sponsored by the award-winning Lennon Festival Ramelton, now in full swing. This weekend, catch headline acts: Honour, Queen Tribute, Dublin Paddies and ABBA Sensations. For tickets, search Lennon Festival on Eventbrite.
If you're getting married in 2025, BizPrint can take care of all your printing needs. Not just invitations, but save the date cards, order of service booklets, table plans, and so much more. See what's available at weddinginvites.ie or call BizPrint on 9177955.
Just finished your Leaving Cert and wondering what's next? Join us at the TCS Careers Evening, Wednesday 9th of July from 3 till 7 p.m. at the Tata Consultancy Services Global Delivery Centre, Letterkenny Business and Technology Park. Explore exciting career paths, meet the team, see our award-winning workplace. Your future starts here. Find out more at tcscareers.ie. That's tcscareers.ie.
We're serving up summer at Dunnes Stores and it's barbecue season. Mix and match 3 for €10 across a fantastic range of meat and fish. Try something vibrant like succulent king prawns. Or enjoy Boardbia quality assured meats like piri piri chicken wings or new hot honey pork belly slices and many more. Any 3 for just €10. Plus, save at the till with a 10 off 50 grocery voucher. Dunnes Stores, always better value. Terms and conditions apply. Voucher can be used on next grocery shop of €50 or more.
Here at Braden's House to Home Interiors, Moville and Bridgend, we stock recliner and fabric suites, dining tables and chairs, beds and mattresses, curtains and rugs, and don't forget our large flooring department stocking carpet, vinyl and laminate flooring. We can't be beaten on price or quality and give a weekly delivery service to Donegal, Derry and Strabane, not to be matched. So call in today to Braden's House to Home Interiors, Moville or Bridgend for all your home furnishing needs.
Divers Hyundai, Canal Road, Letterkenny, wishing Donegal good luck in Crow Park this weekend. A great scrappage allowance is still available on selected new cars for 252 at Divers. Come on, Donegal.
Join me, David James, to experience the magic of Riverdance 30, the new generation. I'll be your host on Thursday, August 28th for a spectacular trip to Dublin's Gaiety Theatre. You will enjoy luxury coach travel, your ticket to the show, and a 4-star overnight stay in the centre of Dublin. Spaces are now very limited, so don't miss out. Book your spot today by contacting Highland Radio on 074 91 25000 or visit highlandradio.com.
Right, you're welcome back. Do I get a piece of paper in relation to this? Do I? I don't. So I have literally no idea. What do we? Okay, right. I'll try and set it up as best I can because I have had no briefing on this whatsoever. As you would know, I am probably one of the most youngest and relevant broadcasters in the Republic of Ireland. Shannon, you can't disagree with that, can you?
Not for a second, Greg. You're hip and cool.
We are hip. I'm Zibbity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Zibbity means?
Not really. I just hear Zibbity toilet, whatever that means.
Yeah, well, I'm Zibbity.
Zibbity.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And if any of your children are listening to this show, they'll know exactly what I mean when I say I'm Zibbity. So I recognise that, and also too, there is this misnomer, this feeling out there that our listening demographic would be of the older generation. Now, we have a lot of brilliant older listeners, but we have a lot of young listeners too. So I wanted to reach them a little bit more. So I've invited you in.
So hopefully I fill that gap.
You're hitting a demo that I'm already hitting, right? But you're
Okay.
just driving home the force point. So what are we talking about?
So I'm going to start off with a video I saw of two lads. I assume they're over.
So this is on. Sorry.
This is on TikTok.
So you're across social media for me. You're finding out what's trending every week, right?
Stuff that I've seen that's jumped out might be trending, yeah, or something that's a wee bit
starting
quirky.
a trend, right?
Quirky.
Okay, so this is
Yeah.
an alternative look at the news. What's on social media? What maybe do we need to get on?
Yes.
Okay, zibbity. Right, hit me.
So the first video that I'm going to talk about is...
Has someone sent me these videos so I can play them out
There's
whilst you're
some
talking?
in your WhatsApp.
Oh, there, right, okay.
Yes.
Well, we might work on this for the next time.
Yeah, no bother.
Okay.
So it was two lads, I assume they're on a J1 in Boston, and it's this lady, she's in her car, and they randomly walk up to her asking for a lift. In Irish culture, that would grand, a night out, you're desperate, how do I get home? But I don't know how the American took it. She thought it was funny, but it has 1.5 million likes.
So it's a couple of Irish guys, is it?
Two Irish guys, and they just look pure Irish, and they look pure innocent. They're like, we won't rob you or nothing. We're Irish. We're too poor.
Sorry, Adele's saying I think it's skibbity. That's what I was saying. Skibbity.
Yeah.
I said skibbity, Adele. How dare you question my youthful credentials?
And then that got me thinking of J1 stories. So one lad, he got a fake ID, but he obviously didn't think it. And on his ID, because you have to be 21 over there, his birthday was the 31st of September. So obviously there's no 31st of September. So the man fully convinced the cashier in Walmart or wherever it was, did you not know we have 31 days of September in Ireland?
Oh no,
Yeah,
cringe.
cringe,
Oh my God.
but
All right,
if
okay.
it works.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
And then like people
Did it
living-
work?
Yeah, it did. He
Oh
was
my
like, "Oh my
God.
God, man, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know that. You know, you just pull the don't disrespect my culture card." And
I think
kinda-
if someone said to me, you know, we have 29 days in America every February, I would probably not want to challenge them either.
No,
Clever, right? We'll
wouldn't.
try that.
And then another thing I've been looking at, things somebody would never say. So we might try to do one or two now. So I'm going to say, "Oh my God, I really fancy a bag of sweets." And you'll go, "What are you having? Like, what's your favourite sweet?"
Yeah. You want me to answer?
Yeah.
Okay, what would my favourite sweet be?
But it's not a real answer. You have to give me like a really wacky answer. Yeah.
My favourite sweet, Skittles.
Skittles. No, see, I'm looking for like licorice all sorts. Like, love it or hate it. That kind of vibe.
I like Marmite.
Marmite, there you go. Or, oh, my mum's cooking dinner tonight. I'm so excited. What's she cooking? Pork chops.
Okay.
That kind of vibe. So, any other examples? Or, where are you going on holidays?
Yes.
Let's see. Where's a really bad place? I can't say somewhere in Donegal.
Hold on a second, be careful
somewhere
now.
get
I know
offended.
Yeah, I need to step in here.
Yeah.
Where can we say is bad and we don't care if we offend them? Caroline, can you think? Leitrim? No, I'm only joking. Where, lie. Lie. Oh, you're in bother there. Right, we can't do that, sorry.
Okay,
because
next
we could
one.
offend someone.
Another thing I saw, and this relates to Letterkenny, there's actually a wishing well in a bar in Letterkenny. Can you
Is
guess
there?
where?
Wishing well in a bar in Letterkenny.
Don't be Googling it or asking ChatGPT. Come on, tell me, what do you think? 3, 2, 1, final guess.
McGinley's. Where is it?
Central Bar.
Okay, cool.
So imagine having a few pints and you're like, oh, I hate my life. You know,
Yeah.
you might be a bit depressed. Just go up to the wishing well.
And have
maybe
you
your
seen
wishes will
it?
come true. I haven't, but I must go in and have a wee look for
Right,
it.
okay. And is the water in?
There's water in it, yeah. Some people are saying they might question if it's only water. Maybe
Okay.
some people were dumping their drinks
Is that
in
the
there.
oldest bar in Letterkenny?
I think Blake's is the oldest
Blake's,
bar in
okay.
Letterkenny.
All right, so there's a wish well in Letterkenny. Who would have thought? What else? In a pub in Letterkenny, sorry.
In a
even
pub in
more so,
Letterkenny, yep. So that's another tourist attraction for us. 50 Cent was at a baby shower in Dublin. Did you see that one?
No. Well, I'm going to pretend I didn't see them just for.
Okay.
Because I have to come across as the old fart and you have to come across as the young, trendy person.
Yeah.
Even though I'm actually more relevant than you are,
Yeah,
right?
you're probably more cool
So
than me.
Fiddy, as I call him, Fiddy was in
Mhm.
Dublin.
Yeah, so I couldn't get 100% confirmation on where exactly he was, but the main suspect is the Forge Inn in Crumlin, which is
Oh,
Conor
great.
McGregor's
Yeah.
pub. So
That
do you
makes
think they're
sense.
buddies?
I would have thought that 50 Cent is actually got a good set of morals on him. You know, he's a decent fella. Eminem also a very decent fella, although they sort of rap about certain stuffs. I would have been surprised if he was rubbing shoulders with Connor, but anyway, who's to say? But
Maybe he
was
just
in
thought
Dublin.
it was a
I like
good
Snoop
spot.
Dogg likes Dublin as well.
yeah.
He pops up now and again, smoking an endo,
Yeah.
as they say. But anyway,
But then 50 Cent actually cradles the bump, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, your bump has been blessed by 50 Cent," and you just see the daddy running in, like, "Get away from my baby mama, my baby," like. So that was a bit of a funny one.
Adele, don't worry. I didn't. Maybe he said Skibbity. I just don't pronounce my K's very well. Skibbity. I'm just going to sit here and slay it. Don't worry, Adele. Go ahead. What's next?
Have you seen the video of the lady collapsing at the High Rocks in Sydney and the boyfriend leaves her? So during the wall balls, so that's throwing up the big massive balls, she faints, and the boyfriend kind of looks at the marshals and he goes, "Do I like lose my time and my place if she doesn't come with me?" And they're like, "No, you can go on ahead." Runs off, finishes the race, and she's like full on medical attention.
I'd dump him.
Oh, red flag.
That is a red flag, right? You know,
and then
seriously.
To be viral on social media, like that's in Sydney, they're talking about it in Ireland, talking about it in America, like all over the world. Just no.
Yeah. I wonder sometimes though, when something goes viral, it's replicated, and then is it real? Like there was one video once where a girl in America decided to go surprise her boyfriend in a different state. And she walks in, and he's sitting there with his arm around another woman watching telly.
I think I've seen that one.
But I wonder, is that real or?
But would you post about it afterwards? Maybe in the heat of the moment, revenge. You're like,
but some people, their online life is completely integrated to their regular life, and that I need to tell my people. Some people speak to people on social media as if they need to know they're I have to tell them now. So it is possible that people would do it, even though it's bad shade on them, you know? Yeah. Okay, what's next on the world or in the world of social media?
You probably saw Hugh Grant fell asleep at Wimbledon yesterday. Old fart like you know. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Well, you can, because we're trying to appeal to a different demographic at times, so yes, you can say that.
But I thought I'd link this up. So, you know Notting Hill in London?
Yes.
He's very famous for that 1999 film. And the houses are beautiful. You know, you want to get your Instagram shots, all that kind of jazz. The residents have gotten mad, and they've actually started painting the houses black to try and stop tourists coming to take photos.
Really?
But a few of the houses are still colourful, and because the architecture is so stunning, it's still quite beautiful.
I'm surprised the local council allows them to go black.
Yeah.
So I just want to say all of this is unverified, because you're just going on trolling stuff on social media presuming it's true.
Well, news sites as well have covered it, so I'm going to take...
I just don't understand. Why would you deface your own property to avoid someone taking a picture of it because it was so beautiful?
But
people are mad.
It's not the issue. Imagine people outside your house. Like, for example, rally weekend, a lot of people have people outside their houses and their garden and stuff.
Yeah,
imagine
but
that
people
all year.
walking around London. I mean, come on.
So basically, whenever we go to London in September, we're hitting up Notting Hill for pics.
Yeah, definitely. Get some pictures of some black houses. Love it.
And then, so Jane Birkin is the original maker of the iconic Birkin bag. And the first ever bag was sold, I think it was yesterday. Guess how much?
I read this article, but I didn't see how much. Was it $850,000?
No.
How much?
8.6 million. Yep.
Seriously. I mean, I could be a billionaire and I wouldn't spend 8.6 million on a handbag. That's crazy.
But I think even the Birkin brand itself, so you need to kind of get in with them first.
Yeah.
And you're kind of added to a list. Okay. Oh, is Shannon allowed to buy a Birkin
bag? Did they not
see
that during the big row between China and America over tariffs, that the Chinese were laughing at people that they were making all these high quality bags for pittance? And then the big companies, I'm not saying that's happened with Birkin, but the big companies then were just sticking a label on them and people going, oh my God, $350 for this bag.
Yeah, that's fair. But I also saw another funny thing about Birkin. So I think it was 2014, they released a cannabis bag.
Cannabis.
So right. It was made out of...
Hemp.
Yeah. But this lady, she was just walking around with her new bag that she'd got because she bought it secondhand, so it was vintage. So she was like, I got it for a steal. Warm day in a city, the bag starts to smell.
Oh, and we all know that smell, don't we? Okay.
So.
Did you ever see the video of the news reporter reporting from a big drugs haul in I think it was in America or Brazil or something, and he was standing. They were burning the find of cannabis, and he was standing reporting on it, and he started getting high off the fumes of the... It's really very funny, and it is real. This is before you could manipulate images and stuff. So he starts giggling and laughing, trying to do this live news or this...
Live?
Well, I'm not sure if it was live or not.
Oh my goodness.
To do this report, right? Because he starts getting high off the cannabis burning in the background. Quite funny. All right, and what else? You're just flicking through stuff now.
I know, I'm like, what have I covered? What have I not? So there's a tweet going viral. A Florida store is now selling Dubai chocolate Labubu items. Does that make any sense to you?
Dubai chocolate, obviously it's chocolate made in Dubai. And the second bit?
Labubu items?
Labubu, no.
No.
Can I just say this is very important because what we're doing here is a real public service, Shannon, because, you know, we need to sit around the dinner table more and talk. Cross-generational talking is good. And now we've got mums and dads, granny and granddads can start bringing this stuff up. Did you hear about the Babubu chocolate?
So Labubu, they're a bit creepy looking, I'm sorry to all the kids that love them, but they have these jaggedy teeth and everything. And they're really trendy at the moment. They were initially a thing for all the fashion girlies. They put them on their handbags as kind of keychains.
Yes.
But all the kids are going mad for them. And now everyone is kind of going, oh, this sentence wouldn't have made sense 6 months ago. And I think that's kind of the world we live in. Even skibbity, like you'd never heard that before.
You're so true. I mean, you are. Listen, you're just bossing it, man. What's the wee things you put in Crocs? Is it kind of like that? No.
Oh goodness, I can't remember what they're called.
There's a name on them, isn't
yeah.
there? Anything else for me? Because I want, as I say, I want to feel relevant when I'm talking to Aaron later on.
I don't have anything that trendy, but this is a local story that again has made it to America. So I think we were actually talking about this. Bernie Heron, who was gifted the Citroen 2 CV by her husband in the Letterkenny car park. So she was with him, and he was like, "Oh, lovely. Do you want to take a photo with this car?"
Yes.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, nice car." And then he goes, "That's for you as an
lovely.
anniversary present." So CBS featured that on their Top Story, Top Moment segment.
So we've gone internationally viral.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant stuff. All right, listen, thank you for that. It's given me food for thought. I appreciate it, Shannon. You just rumble about. We might do it again next week. See what you can find, because I need to stay very relevant and youthful and on top of all things social media.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
All right then. Thanks very much. That's Shannon.
The 9 till noon show with the award-winning Lennon Festival Ramelton. Now until July 14th. This weekend, enjoy Honour, Queen Tribute, Tumbling Paddies and ABBA Sensations. Plus family fun and entertainment for everyone. For full details, see Lennon Festival Ramelton on Facebook.
It's Bedroom and Mattress Week at Easy Living Furniture. Everything's reduced in store and online with hundreds of sale specials and free delivery on all bedroom and mattress orders over £499. Hurry, Bedroom and Mattress Week ends soon. Only at Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry, Londonderry.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, Easy Living has it all. Easy Living Furniture. Luxury furnishings, affordable luxury.
This July 18th and 19th, Gweedore comes alive with Salt Music Festival 2025. On Saturday 19th, experience The Stunning, the Sharon Shannon Big Band, Lee Brady, the Luke Combs Experience, and many more. For more information and tickets, go to saltfela.ie. Salt Music Festival 2025. 2 days, one place, great music.
Hi, Paddy here at Shane Conley Cars in Donegal Town. Are you looking to upgrade your car? With Shane Conley Cars, you'll find makes and models for every budget. Great finance options, and we also accept trade-ins. Check out shaneconleycars.com or call in to us at Shane Conley Cars from Lonaher Road, Donegal Town.
Make real summer savings at Super Value. Fire up the barbecue with 3 for €10 meats. HB ice creams like Twister and Magnum 2 for €6. Selected Cadbury and Hunky Dories 3 for €5. Until Sunday, scan your Real Rewards card or app and get the Ned Sauvignon Blanc 6-bottle pack for €50. Make real summer savings at Super Value. Enjoy alcohol responsibly.
Get ready to dance the weekend away at the Highland Radio Country Music Weekend in the Clanry Hotel, Letterkenny from October 31st to November 2nd. 2 nights, 1 dance floor and some of Ireland's biggest country stars. Michael English, Patrick Feeney, Stacey Breen, Jordan McPolin, and I'll be there too, David James, and lots more to be announced. You can enjoy 2 nights bed and breakfast plus tickets to both dances. That's the Highland Radio Country Music Weekend. Spaces are limited, so book now online at highlandradio.com or clanryhotel.com.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhenney's. Find amazing savings across our departments with up to 50% off your favourite brands in our summer sale. Discover more in-store or shop online at mcelhenneys.com today.
So sunny, dry and very warm today. A touch of cloud might drift in at times. It'll stay largely dry though across the region. Light winds and plenty of sunshine throughout. Temperatures of 24 to 27 degrees. We have members of our digital team here, Corinne Temple and Anya Sweeney. Good morning. Thanks so much for calling down from the office upstairs.
Yeah. Good morning. Long
Bit
journey.
of a trek.
Yes, I know. Thanks so much for making the effort. Fell down the stairs and here you are.
Yeah.
Corinne, I'll start with you. I mentioned a bit early on, the Big Highland Bingo Summer Bingo Party is taking place on August 2nd. I know you were out at the fantastic venue of Jackson's, right? We know how good that is. And Lee Gooch is hosting alongside Keith Fletcher and also Marty Friel. Very important role in providing the music, and it is going to be mighty crack altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a really good night. We had the boys, we had Keith and Lee and Balbuffet there in Jackson's on Tuesday, and they just ran riot around Balbuffet.
They say never work with animals or children.
They never work with Keith or Lee.
They actually interrupted a meeting.
Like barged into the
room.
Someone
messaged me saying I saw Lee Gooch was running around Balbuffet in a grass skirt.
Yeah,
he was.
But there was no context to it. They just thought he was having an episode. Or something. They didn't know that. No, this is part of.
He was just stopping people in their cars, asking them had they got their tickets yet.
Yeah, you booked the right person for it anyway, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're out there, and it's going to be a great night. It's going to be great fun party night, and I think particularly a good opportunity to get a group of friends together and let your head down. You've got a month or 3 weeks to organise a babysitter and go and have a bit of crack. Make a night of it too. Once it's over, head on somewhere else.
Exactly.
Or stay in Jackson's.
Yeah. And so this is why we're sort of here this morning to launch now our pre-party beauty club. So instead of just making a night of it, make a day of it. Grab your girls' head. We've teamed up with McElhinney's for a pre-party beauty club. So you can go into McElhinney's, get your hairstyle, get your makeup done, and they'll have summer tunes playing just to get you into the mood for the night ahead.
And it's brilliant if you're heading on to the bingo night on. You're not essential, I imagine. This is an opportunity, is it, just to go in and pamper yourself and get the vibes?
Yeah, so you can book in through McElhinney's. So you can give them a call on 074 913 1217 and they'll take your booking. You can get your hair, your makeup, get the party vibes going, I suppose, before you head off to Jackson's, which is only across the road then for you. Now there is a limited amount of appointments.
It is limited?
Yeah.
All right.
So you want to get in there quick if you do want to take part. So there is only 16 appointments. So it is important if you are looking to book just to get in there quick before they're gone.
So you'll get a €50 beauty bundle with makeup, a quick dry hair bar style, curls or an up style, perfect for the party, beach party look. I mean, I don't even have to read this. This just, it comes out of me completely naturally.
Yeah, there's a flow there.
Yeah, it is. And it runs from 12 noon till 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love those party beach waves, don't you, Greg?
I think it's a woman's world, and, you're always looking after yourselves, women. Like, what about poor fellas? Like,
well,
hard.
We actually work really hard, Greg. Are we going to get into this? Women have a really tough.
No, I'm not getting.
Sorry, we're out of time.
No, I'm blooming not getting into it. All right. Okay.
So we do work really hard.
Of course you do.
And it does.
What would be a good summer sort of party bingo song for me to play when we finish this item?
Oh, are you a fan of Venga Boys?
Well, let's go. Do you know what? I DJ'd in Bundoran for years.
You DJ'd?
Yeah.
Can I hear your DJ voice?
Well, I didn't speak that much really, but
you?
I was more. Yeah. But
give us a wee.
I love the
Give us a wee attempt at your proper.
Yeah. Whoa. No, I didn't.
Did you have a DJ name?
No, I didn't. But do you know, in a way, my lack of name became sort of like a name. It was like the DJ with no name.
Oh, very mysterious.
Yeah, so it was very good.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is I was a DJ in Bundoran, right? And I've said this before. But it was Bundoran, it probably still is, but it was huge for hen parties, it was huge for party nights. So I loved the cheese. Venga Boys was always there.
Loved the Venga Boys.
Anne Lee, blah, blah, blah. All the
old 90s tunes. Yeah.
We like to party.
That is.
No spoilers, but I think that's the one we'll go for.
That's the one, yeah.
Right, so I'm only joking. It's fantastic that people treat themselves. And I think it's really important too, because often, if you don't mind me saying so, I know the women in my life, they often put everybody else ahead of them. And that is the actual truth, right? So here's an opportunity for you to put yourself front and center. Give your sisters a ring, give your mates a ring, and say, right, what about this? The thing with the beauty bundle in McElhinney's is it is really very, very limited. So I imagine you need to sort of get on the phone really, really quick.
You can call in store as well.
Okay.
So they will take bookings in stores. So you can either phone them, as we said, 074913217, or you can call in store and book your appointment.
Anya, what's the night going to be like then? Talk me through it. It's going to be fun, isn't it?
It is going to be very, very fun. Even just going by the day that we had in Jackson's, the last day, Keith and Lee are going to be on it.
Yeah.
They're going to be
More
a bit
ways
cracked.
than one.
But yeah, there's going to be great crack on the night. There's going to be a lot of music, a lot of dancing, a lot of challenges, a bit of lip syncing.
It has to
a
be
bit of
beach
dance
balls.
offs.
There's going to be big beach balls.
There's going to be
the
big
props
beach balls.
are en route.
Right, so you can sort of bang them and...
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll have
okay.
glow sticks. We'll have all of that.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah,
All right. And brilliant music, great fun. And there's a lot of audience interaction based on the audience want to. I think sometimes people think that if I go there, do I have to do something? No, of course you don't. But we've got lots of people that
There'll always
will
be
want to have a bit
someone
of crack.
in your group that will want to get on the stage.
And no one's
So-
going to be made feel uncomfortable.
No.
It's just going to be really, really good fun.
Mhm.
And also there's money involved as well, because there is a bit of bingo and there's €1,000 a top prize.
Yeah, exactly. If you make it through.
What does that mean?
If you make it to the last round.
I've been to these nights and then I'm like, damn it, what sheet are we on?
Yes.
Where are we supposed to be?
Or
You
your
lose your
book's
marker.
That's why I didn't drink at the last Highland party, because see the quizzes, like round 2, I'm like, I don't care. I just want to go up and have a
I'm
drink.
not interested.
Yeah, especially
You know
when
what I
there's a
mean?
free bar. You know, it's very hard to stay concentrated.
Right,
for the
so
quiz.
if you want more info about the bingo party night, you can go on your own if you want to, or with one person. You don't have to have a party, people, but we're giving you plenty of notice to set it up for yourselves. As I say, get the babysitter in, clear the decks, and have Sunday morning sorted as well, maybe even if you're very lucky. But it is in Jackson's on August the 2nd. Lee Gooch, Keith Fletcher are your hosts. The music is going to be blaring, beats from Marty Friel, of course, as well. And just a recap of this extra special pre-party beach club, Corinne, McElhinney's. Go in store, book it. Very limited spots, right? It's between 12 and 4, and it's to pamper yourself and get yourself looking amazing.
Yeah, it's just an add-on for the night. It's just to get you going for the day and, you know, relax, get your makeup, get your hair, get the girls together, and then just head on then for the night. So
How's the celebrations going? Your birthday celebration?
Oh yes, well I kicked them off last week actually. in
I know,
Budapest.
kick off. Like, in other words, it's a series
This
of
has been going on the
things.
whole year,
I
right?
know, yeah.
So yeah, they started last week
Yes.
actually officially in
She launched them.
in Budapest. We had a launch. We had a soft
A
launch.
soft launch in
Yeah,
Budapest, all right. And what else is planned?
well,
there's no surprises for you anyway.
no, I'm pretty much in
You're a
control.
hands-on
of it.
organiser, yeah.
Pretty much in control myself. I did have other things planned, but August is kind of booking up work-wise, so it's kind of getting harder to squeeze things in. But
Sometimes.
Hence why I took the year then to celebrate.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
sometimes later in the year is nice to do things as
Yeah,
well. I mean, if you
yeah.
look at the temps out foreign now, for example, pretty high, you know.
Well, any ideas, Greg? I'm open.
I used to go back, 7 or 8 years ago. I could give you any amount of ideas. Unfortunately, now none.
You're out of touch.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit out of touch, unfortunately.
You're past that.
Right, past it. What? Who brought you in? How can I be past it? Did you not
That's
hear
what you were alluding to
with
there.
my last item with Shannon? That's how relevant I am, and not past it.
Yeah.
Right, I am past
I love the way you have to really, really express that.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah,
said,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
past it.
yeah.
I'm not past it. I'm really not past it.
Really not past it. Right, okay. So, how do we get tickets then, Anya, for the bingo party, bingo night then?
Yeah, so you can head over to Eventbrite, and if you just search the Big Bingo Summer Party, or if you go to our socials or our website, you'll get the links there on the different posts and stuff.
And
that's there.
McElhinney's, for the extra special treatment of yourself, just remind us again, Corinne, of how we might avail of that.
So again, you can call in store, call into the cosmetics hall there, and the girls will sort you out with an appointment, or just give them a call over the phone on 07491311217.
All right, both of you, thank you very much indeed. That's Corinne. That is Anya. We're going to leave it there on our social stream because we're going to play a piece of music, and Facebook gets very cross.
Do your best.